Fans are going to respond to it, and they're going to latch upon it, and they're going to keep on and on. West Ham fans spend all their time complaining about what their football club doesn't do. You know, their football club is massive at one particular moment. No, it's not. Never has been.
Danny Murphy expects a troublesome season for the Hammers, save some big transfers coming in.
They've got a long, hard season ahead, unless they do a good bit of business in the next few days. And have they got the finances to do that, or can they be cute on a couple of loans? They need a couple more in the building, that's for sure.
We understand they've proposed a loan deal with an obligation to buy after 25 league appearances for Botafogo keeper John Victor, and Monaco midfielder Sungutu Magasa is all set for a medical. Former United defender John O'Shea's urged Manchester United not to sell Kobbie Mainoo under any circumstances, but thinks his lack of game time under Amarim could be a test from the manager.
I found it slightly strange that the manager mentioned he's just in competition with Bruno.
I know.
I just found it a little bit strange. Listen, I know he's probably putting a bit of a challenge to him.
We understand Mainoo would be willing to leave the club for the right price. He could feature in tonight's Carabao Cup clash against Grimsby, which of course you can listen to live on talkSPORT. And Keegan Bradley's about to announce his US Ryder Cup captain picks. If he picks himself, he'll be the first playing captain in 62 years. We'll bring you the squad announcement once it's confirmed.
talkSPORT News.
Nigel Farage appears to have softened his immigration plans, and households are being told to consider switching to fixed energy deals.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Come rain or shine, wherever and whenever suits you with our mobile tyre fitting service. Now that will have you driving away happy every time. Conditions apply.
Heavy rain moving northeast across much of the UK, with some showers in the south later, some sunny spells as well.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, alongside me, a man who has, if you're in our team meetings, a potty mouth. Andy Townsend.
Good afternoon, sir. How are we?
Potty mouth you got?
That was clean.
You got?
That's the cleanest I've been since I've been in the building.
Very much so. You all right? Lovely to see you.
Very good, mate. Very good. And looking forward to the next 3 hours.
Good. By Jingo, we've got a show for you today. We'll ask whether players have a right to confront fans after things got a little bit heated between Jarrod Bowen and the West Ham supporters. We'll also ask whether you should be allowed to play for your country. This is a great question. If you refuse to play for your club after Alexander Isak was included in the Swedish squad, on top of that, we're brought up to, oh dear, it's a big old night of Carabao Cup football. Grimsby take on Man United. This game you can hear live on talkSPORT. How big is this competition for Ruben Amarim? And we'll be joined in the studio by former Leicester goalkeeper and Premier League winner Asmir Begovic. All that, plus we'll discuss Celtic being dumped out of the Champions League by the team ranked 311th in Europe. This is Drive Digital talkSPORT. You can get involved by picking up the phone 03717 22 3344.
talkSPORT Drive.
I can tell you're eager to talk.
Did you
would
know?
Look at you while I was reading it? You were staring at me like,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
you
can
don't
I
have
get
to apologise to me ever. I love you. I love having you on the show, Andy.
How about this? Did you know that whenever you play Grimsby, that you used to get a piece of fish?
Is that true?
It's true.
Who's you used to get?
Each player.
What would you do with that piece of fish?
Obviously not a lot. You don't want to put it in your bag, do you?
When are you getting the fish? Talk me through the fish giving process.
Giving a process, if I remember rightly, was as we arrived at the club.
Well, whoever's come up with that, that's a bit stupid. So where'd you put the fish?
Well, someone obviously kept hold of it, whether it's all iced up or boxed up or whatever, I don't know, I can't remember. But I do remember you used to get a piece of fish, and I wonder, I'm sure that tradition, doesn't still exist to this day. Yeah. I can't see Bruno and co walking away back to United with a piece of haddock in a bag. Or in
how many different fish do you reckon you can name?
How many different fish could I name?
10? You can name 10? Go for 10. Go. I'll give you haddock.
10, okay. Haddock, sole, cod.
That's 3. Is that it? 3.
Oh, I can name more than that. Salmon.
4. No help, please.
I'm just trying to think of the ones I eat, which is pretty much all.
I'll give you
trout.
Yeah.
What else, Anne? Help me.
Well, I'm thinking of monkfish.
Monkfish, I like it.
No,
as well.
you
Lobster.
could have what?
Lobster.
You say oyster? Is lobster a fish?
Well, I don't know, but it's
lobster. It's a lobster, isn't it?
It's on that.
There's a big clue because it's called lobster.
It's on that part of the menu. Put it that way.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is. I see. I was going to be cheeky and just go like whale, shark. I mean, these are
really
still
eat
fish.
them, do we?
I didn't say that. I said name fish. That was where I was being clever. You didn't think about that, did you? Have you been fishing before?
I'm naturally not. I'm too fidgety to fish. It's a fact.
What's the connection between fidgeting and you need to be quiet and still?
You need to be nice and calm, and you got to enjoy it. By the way, I love the countryside, and I love a little meandering river that you might walk around. I love all of that. But sitting there all day long waiting for something to have a nibble.
Pardon?
Have a nibble.
We've all done that before, haven't we?
Then I'm not quite sure.
What's the longest you wait for a nibble?
The longest I've waited for a nibble? Fair while, I should imagine.
Yeah? Did you get one?
No. I've not really fished. I mean, like Coisty, for instance, Ali loves his fishing. He goes sea fishing. He'd fish
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about Ali McCoy, right? How reliable a man is he?
What do you mean reliable?
I've spoken to him a few times, right?
Yeah.
And when we've talked golf, he's like, "Oh, I'd love to play. We'll play golf." And I was like, "Whenever you want." Yeah. Doesn't send me dates. I know he's busy. Well, don't mention it.
He's busy.
Don't mention it then.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Don't say come and play golf.
Well, he wouldn't want to hurt your feelings by saying, "Listen, I've got better things to do."
No, but he brings it to the table. That's what I'm saying. That's what McCoy does. Brings it. Do you want gets my hopes up?
Yes.
Like saying, "What do you want for Christmas?" And on Christmas Day, I come down and there's no Ali McCoy there. Terrible, isn't it?
That is
terrible.
Listen, but he has commitments. That boy.
Okay. You been fishing with him?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
You haven't been fishing?
I haven't really actually. I mean, for instance, I've never owned rods and stuff like that. So,
do you need to own a rod? Can you rent a rod?
I have no idea.
How big do you want your rod to be? Here's a question for you.
Go on.
Is the length of the rod dependent on how many fish you catch? Like if you've got a tiny little rod, if we went fishing and you've got a tiny little rod and I've got a massive rod, right? Would I catch more fish than you?
It depends where we're fishing, doesn't it?
I suppose so. If we're fishing in someone's bathtub, no.
Correct. Much would depend where.
Fishing chat. I never thought when I saw you this morning we'd start with fishing chat.
Nor did I.
We've got lots coming up on today's show. A bit later on, we'll talk about how important or not this competition is for Man United tonight, League Cup.
Yeah, I think it should be significant for them.
What does that mean?
I think it's important to take it very seriously. Of course, they're going to rotate. Of course, we're not expecting the same team that played against Fulham at the weekend to play up at Grimsby. However, I do believe that United are in no position to turn their nose up at anything that they get.
I don't think it's turning their nose up, but my view is anywhere in the top 7 for Man United is better than 8th and below with a trophy.
Is it really?
Yeah. League Cup.
I get if you were saying to me, look, top 4, we're going to go all out top 4, therefore at the expense of maybe the League Cup, FA Cup to get top 4. 7.
Well, let me ask you this. If Man United finish 6th and no cup, would you say they've improved on last year?
Yeah, well, blimey, that ain't hard.
Okay, if they finish 12th in League Cup. And
that's an improvement.
Is it?
On last year?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you?
Look, it's not where United see themselves want to be, but if you win a trophy and you were to finish, 10th, 12th, I think that is actually a little bit of an improvement where they were before.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that a bit later on.
Yeah.
We'll also talk about the fact that Isak's been called up to the Swedish squad. Yes. And you made a very good point in our meeting. Should he be allowed to play international football if he's refusing to play for his club? So we've got lots coming up in today's show. But we're going to start by discussing West Ham because their season is going from bad to worse. They were knocked out the Carabao Cup last night by Wolves. A Wolves side who made 8 changes and things got very heated between their captain Jarrod Bowen and the West Ham fans after. So is time now running out for Potter?
My goodness, his opening day's goal, they don't get any better than this. Sunderland 3, West Ham 0.
And that's been a big issue at the start of the season, is defensively they look so weak.
And spilt by the goalkeeper to be put in by Caicedo for 4. It has transformed into a complete Hammer horror show.
It's relegation fodder stuff, and if they don't make some signings or do something, it's going to be a long season.
And put in by Chalobah. It's 5-1.
Wolves 3, West Ham United 2. It's that man, Jørgen Strand Larsen again. 11 goals conceded in 3 games for West Ham United. They may be signing a goalkeeper. I think they need a bit more than that before Monday night.
Yeah, 2 goals in 2 minutes from Strand Larsen was enough to ensure Wolves' place in the next round and pile on the pressure for Graham Potter. They've now conceded 11 goals in 3 games. After the match, the captain, Jarrod Bowen, had to be pulled away by his teammates after being confronted by angry fans at the full-time whistle. And after that game, Graham Potter spoke to talkSPORT's Adam Bridge and said, despite the result, not everything is doom and gloom.
I thought lots of positives. I thought the first half we were probably the better team. I thought we were lucky to go a goal down. I think that the manner of the first goal sums up where we're at the moment. They hit the post and rebound straight to them and it goes in. But I thought the performance in the first half was solid. I said create some chances. I thought the response second half was good. We scored 2 good goals. And then probably the substitutions turned the game for them a little bit. We weren't able to hang on and obviously disappointed to go out.
I understand when managers come out after a game, they have to come up with some kind of positives. I get that. But to suggest there were positives from that performance and that result last night, I think that's maybe pushing it a little bit too much. Do you or not?
Yeah, that's a phrase that coaches often trot out after a game. Because they don't just want to be as brutally honest as perhaps they might have been moments before in the dressing room with the players. Clearly, what's happening so far for Graham, the way he's going about it at West Ham is not working. I was never totally convinced it was the right fit for West Ham anyway, Graham. I'm not.
What, because of the manager or the style?
Because I think Graham's a coach that puts too much emphasis on the way that the team are playing, rather than getting results. West Ham is one of those clubs where you've got to get results. If you don't get results at West Ham, you very, very quickly find yourself backed into a corner, up against it.
But aren't all clubs like that, Ed?
Well, yes, they are, to a degree, they are. But I think West Ham is one of those clubs where you can find life can be very difficult and particularly uncomfortable if you're not winning enough matches. And again, it's a particular bugbear of mine at the moment, Andy, because I feel too many coaches are insistent on a way to play. I've just watched Brendan Rodgers' team last night, who were as bad as I've ever seen Celtic, I think, last night. They were so bad. But again, playing so slowly and so predictably. Russell Martin has gone into Rangers. Glasgow Rangers, a club that, whenever you watch a Rangers game on the telly, you can see the fans' teeth, where they're gritted teeth, where they're so passionate about their club and what they want. And yet, he wants to roll it around from one defender to another, back to another defender, back to a goalie and back to another defender. And I'm sort of staggered a little bit at the way some of these guys are approaching the jobs that they do.
We'll come back to the manager in just a moment. Let's talk about the players, the captain, Jarrod Bowen. That moment, that incident, the frustration starting to creep through some of the players, not just him.
I've done that.
You tell me when you've done it and what happened.
I've done it. I did it at Chelsea. Someone was having a go at me, and I remember turning round to this bloke and I give him a mouthful back. He was effing and jeffing at me. I gave him it back. And of course, what you don't see, you see the guy that said it to you, but you're not aware of who's around that person. And what I did, which was wrong, I gave this bloke a mouthful back, and there were kids a couple of rows in front of him. Didn't hear probably a word of what he said, but quite clearly heard everything that I said. And Batesy fined me 2 weeks' wages.
And when you're doing that, like Jarrod, for argument's sake, yesterday, that's pure frustration coming through, isn't it?
It is frustration. And when you consider what's happened to him against Sunderland, and then a pasting they took against Chelsea at home, they go up to Wolves and look like that things are going okay, and then at the last few minutes, it's another defeat. It's a frustrating business, and it's not always quite so easy to bite your lip. Every now and again, you just react and you do say something. Now, to be fair to Jarrod, he has turned around and apologised. He has said that he wants everyone, back at it on Sunday, and everyone's got to be pulling together, etc., which is the right thing to do. I'm sure the West Ham fans, knowing those fans, not famously, but I've been there so many times over the years, I would think that they would take that on board, that they'll respect that. They don't want to see the player. They don't want to see this blown out of all proportion going down.
No.
And putting Jarrod Bowen's potential West Ham future at risk in any way, shape or form. Heat of the moment thing. Take it on the chin, everybody concerned, and move on.
Last question, because Rover, I want to get your view on this. West Ham, next 4 games: Forest away, Spurs at home.
Yeah.
Palace at home,
Yeah.
and Everton away. Although I find myself now looking at games in the Premier League, there's no easy games. My question on the back of that is, we've got, less than a week to go before the window closes. If West Ham do not improve that squad, how much trouble could they be in?
Oh, look, I think it's going to be a tough season for them anyway. And I think all coaches nowadays are entitled to feel the support and the backing from their owners, and they want that in terms of players. They want that in terms of funds made available. And if they don't get it, they can, I think, justifiably, as a Premier League coach in this day and age, feel a bit shortchanged. Listen, Graham's got to start winning some games by hook or by crook. Never mind all these brilliant forward-thinking methods. I heard Karen Brady going on, Graham's a great forward-thinking coach. Like, forget about all the forward-thinking. How about you get some immediacy into what you're doing and get a win under your belt?
Just yes or no, because we've got to go to the ads.
Go on.
Will he be there at Christmas?
Yes, because they don't sack their managers, West Ham.
Will he be there at the end of the season?
Not so sure.
Okay. West Ham fans, you know what to do. Pick up the phone. We're talking about your side to begin with. We touched on this yesterday. I know loads of you wanted your say. The same, I would imagine, is going to happen this afternoon. If that is you, if West Ham floats your boat, 03717 223344. Dial that number. You could be next having your say with the two Andys live on Drive on talkSPORT. Driver Talk Sport, it's me, Andy Goldstein. Second best Andy in the studio. Andy Townsend is here. Still to come, we'll be joined by our former UFC champion, Darren Till, ahead of his Misfits boxing fight this weekend. Just quickly, Wolves have rejected a second bid from Newcastle, £55 million for Strand Larsen. I'm guessing that fee's going up every time he scores a goal, right?
Of course it is, yeah, it will be. And Newcastle desperate, obviously, to get something done before potentially allowing Isak to move on. So, look, it's going to get very tricky over the weekend and a bit squeaky bum time for a few of those boys who
it's
are
a big
involved.
Game of poker, right?
Not many.
Who do you think wins that hand?
I just don't see the point of Isak now staying where he is. I mean, I read a few bits today in the press, which I think are just put in there to slightly mislead about, the owners are trying to find a way to negotiate a way for him back in the dressing room in amongst all the players with Eddie and everybody else. I can't see that after what's gone on.
You think it's done, yeah?
How
would you feel if that was your teammate?
If
it was me.
Well, it does go on, Andy.
If it was me, and I was like, I'm done with Newcastle, and you're Newcastle captain.
Look, unfortunately, it is part of our world when you're in a dressing room. Not everyone is happy in there. When it's such a key player, and when he refuses to sort of rock up and train and make himself available for games, then you sort of end up thinking that that's not one that you need. That's not one that again, that's one I think that's better off out the door.
Talking about the door, West Ham fans must be worried about Jared Bowen because he wasn't happy yesterday. He went over to the fans. There's a bit of confrontation. The manager's not happy as well. The fans aren't happy with the manager. It's all a bit messy at West Ham. What do you, the West Ham fan, make of it? 03717 223344. Oh, I haven't got my faders. If you could put them on. Ryan, if you can fade up Ryan for me. Ryan's a West Ham fan. Hi, Ryan.
Hello, gents. Afternoon. How are we doing?
We're good, thanks for asking. How are you today, man? Are you all right? You well?
Yeah, I'm very well. Obviously, not very well with West Ham. Just one thing you just said there, by the way. I can't see Jared Bowen going anywhere. Not just because I think he actually likes being a West Ham player, but also because his father-in-law is Danny Dyer, so he don't want to mess with him, really, does he?
If you go down, he'll go, right?
Oh, you have to go. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, for the sake of his career, and he deserves better. And I think as well, he has to be the captain. There's no one else really in that team. You can maybe argue Wan-Bissaka and a couple of others.
No, I agree.
There's no one else in that team that starts every week. So he has to be the captain as well. So no question on that either.
Let me ask you a question. I'll cut straight to the chase. Your manager, do you want him in or out?
I want him in. I liked him before he joined West Ham, and I thought he got done over at Chelsea a bit because they had 65 players to pick from, and that's always really difficult. I think he's actually had the opposite problem at West Ham. I think he's had not enough players to pick from. That being added to the fact we've sold arguably one of our best free players to Tottenham. I don't think he's been backed enough. I think you'll give him more time. I do think we're overreacting. I'm not a massive stats person, but in the Sunderland game, they didn't even put up over a goal XG Sunderland. So it was hardly like they'd won 3-0. It was flattering. The game the other day, it was poor keeping from the goalkeeper and really poor defending from the defence. He's got to have time to get players in that he wants and give him a good run up to Christmas with the team that he wants, everyone fit and firing, and just see where we can get to. I think it's too hasty at the minute. Everyone's trying to chuck him out straight away.
Ryan, where do you see yourself finishing up this year with what you've got? Look, there's only a couple of days to improve the squad. Let's create a scenario where you don't get anything else through the door. Where are you going to end up?
I think we're going to end up, even if with no one through the door, we would get relegated this season, or we would at least be down there. The midfield isn't up to it. Bizarrely, we're selling more of them as well. We're selling Rodriguez and we've sold Alvarez. Whether that's Potter doesn't like them or whatever, we shouldn't be selling players in a moment where we're not getting results. We should be getting the players in and then getting the players out the door off the back of that. And I know there's TSR and all the other stuff. I just think as a team, if you don't, you've got to back the manager. The manager needs backing. He needs to get through the transfer window, get the players in he wants, and then see him through till autumn, winter time, and then see where we're at Christmas. That's what I think.
Ryan, thanks for your call. Let's go to Trevor. Good calls as always. Hi, Trevor, West Ham fan.
How you doing? All right?
I'm good, Trev. You all right today? You well?
Good. Yeah, good. Thanks. Yeah, good. First time caller actually.
Oh, why is that?
I haven't got through for the previous few times, but never mind.
Well, you are through now. You can say whatever you like about your team, West Ham.
For West Ham, for the last 10 years, all we've done is gone and got who's available, the managers who are available. We've never gone and got who we want, who we think's acceptable for the club. You know, Brighton go out and get De Zerbi, go and get the guy that's there now. They pay the fees and get them. You know, Bournemouth done the same with Areola. You know, we just go, oh, David Moyes is available. We'll have him twice. You know, he's available twice. You know, the last guy, J-Lo, he was available. We'll get him. Potter's available. Oh, we'll have him. Why don't we go and get who we want for the club? You know, that's you know. We've signed 2 free agents this year.
But isn't that where West Ham are at the moment?
No, of course not. Well, Bournemouth and Brighton any better than us? Like, you know, when they went and got their manager.
Fair point. Yeah.
I mean, you've had Trev. You've had across the board. You've had vastly experienced. You've had winners at other clubs. You've had young British coaches, etc., etc. You've had a fair old variation in there as well.
Yeah, but we've only got them because they're available.
Yeah, but you mentioned the other clubs, right? Let's take Oliver Glasner at Palace. Right?
Oh, yeah, he's the other one. Yeah,
okay,
Palace,
but you're talking about managers that look really, really good now, right? When those clubs signed them, you know, there wasn't a whole host of other big name clubs after them. I think you were after Glasner for a bit, right?
Yeah, but we need to go and do our homework and go and find these people.
Yeah,
you know,
okay, there is that.
No one had heard of the Brighton guy. What's his name? You know, he's 34 years old, 32 years old.
Yeah,
you know, Brighton identified him, and they probably knew as soon as De Zerbi was out the door, they were going to go and get him. They pay the 6-8 million, you know, whatever the compensation is, and they go and get him. You know, listen, I would have kept David Moyes. We offered him a contract. He sat on it, and he didn't want to sign it. I would have kept him. But you know, it's just all been downhill the last 10 years. You know, since moving to the stadium. You know, we moved on a high. We finished really high with Bilic, and Payet was ripping it up. We moved to the stadium. You know, it's just all gone downhill. We was going to the stadium thinking we'd give it a chance. You know, the atmosphere's terrible. The only good few years at the stadium was in the European years, but it was the foreign teams bringing the atmosphere. You know, little Danish teams bringing 4,000 or 5,000 over, creating the atmosphere. You know, I went to a lot of them games. I don't go anymore. You know, you just stop going. You know, it's sad, but we need to find our own identity and go and say, right, we want him. You know, and he's going to play the way we want to play. You know, Potter needs to go. He needs to change his style. Try and shore it all up, go to 4 at the back, put a couple of these kids in. We've got a load of good kids there, and he's not playing them. Why didn't he play them last night?
Trev, listen, I don't get it. I hear your pain. Thank you for your call. It's very kind.
Thanks, Trev.
Do you know what? He mentioned the stadium there. I don't think, and I'm just saying this off the top of my head, so if you think differently, let me know. I don't know of any other club where moving stadium killed them as much as it did West Ham.
Has affected them. I think it did initially, of course, for a while. I certainly have also been at the London Stadium over the last 18 months where it's got an awful lot better. There was that little spell where a lot of the punters were waiting for the owner and all the hierarchy that wherever they were sat, because where I commentate from, looking out on the pitch, you can see everyone's faces looking back, and they're looking back at the owners and wanting to have a dip at them. But I have also noticed, and it's got a lot better at West Ham. But I just wish some of these guys, some of these coaches now would just have a bit more emphasis on getting a job done, getting over the line in matches, rather than always trotting out these same platitudes about how we're playing and how we're doing it. I find that very, very frustrating. I think the West Ham fans just want to see their team get a bit of momentum, winning a couple of games on the spin.
Okay. Keep your calls coming in 03717223344. Darren Till joins us in the next half hour. We'll also talk about the US. They've announced their Ryder Cup team. We'll talk about player managers. We'll talk about that. And Isak from 5 o'clock. If you want to have your say on that, on whether or not you should be able to play for your country if you're not playing for your club, 03717223344.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Darren Bent on today's Drive Time show, but who cares when you got the wonderful Andy Townsend alongside Bentley back tomorrow. Still to come, Leicester goalkeeper, former Premier League winner Asmir Begovic will join us in the studio. But now we are a month away from the Ryder Cup. Can't wait for that. It takes place in New York at the end of September. Today sees the US pick their team, but the question has been whether the captain, Keegan Bradley, would actually pick himself as one of the wild card picks, something which would be a little bit controversial in the golfing world. Here to tell us more about it is talkSPORT presenter and superstar DJ Max Scott is with us in the studio. Scotty,
how are we?
We are good. Are you all right?
I'm doing well, thank you, yeah.
Where are we at with this? Do we know yet?
Yeah, we do. It's just been announced. So Keegan Bradley, the US Ryder Cup captain, has not picked himself to play in the Ryder Cup.
Oh.
It was reported widely that he would, and he'd be the first Ryder Cup captain in 62 years, first since Arnold Palmer, the great Arnold Palmer, to pick himself. He ultimately has decided that, you know, obviously, as a reminder, the US Ryder Cup captain isn't like a football captain. They're a coach, they're a strategist, they're amateur psychologists trying to read how it goes with the players. They're, you know, PR specialists constantly talking with the media. And he's decided that for the better of the team, he shouldn't pick himself. Interestingly, people like Sir Nick Faldo, the great Sir Nick Faldo, said that he told Keegan Bradley to his face he shouldn't pick himself. Rory McIlroy, as ever, was quite loud in the media and said that it'd be ridiculous. You know, he really shouldn't pick himself. And he's actually had a bit of a dig at Rory McIlroy, saying how, you know, essentially how on earth would he know? He doesn't know because he's never been in that position. And so he's not picked himself. Who he has picked, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay and Sam Burns. They join the automatic qualifiers, of course, based on their world ranking. Scotty Scheffler, JJ Spawn, Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, Harry English and Bryson DeChambeau. But the big news, he's not picked himself, but on form, if he wasn't captain and Tiger Woods had taken it, he should be.
Can I ask you a question? I'm going to put you on the spot. You know, you said the last person to do it was Arnold Palmer?
Yeah.
Did they win?
They won comfortably against,
answer.
at the time, Team GB. I think it was 23-9. And so... But that was he was, you know, mercurial, and I think in this day and age where the Ryder Cup's so much more intense, he couldn't have done it.
And I think when you look at the role of the captain, when it's Luke Donald, obviously will be over there in New York pitting his wits against Keegan Bradley. But when you look at the role of that captain, they're in the buggy, they're off following one match, they're just trying to G people up, they're then speaking to someone else, they're obviously doing all the press involved. If you've then got to throw in your own game in there as well to focus on that, I don't think you can do it, can you? I mean, I think it was all a little bit...
I could do it.
Oh, no doubt you could.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd probably get the winning part as well, if I'm being honest.
And win the World Pool Championship
at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And paddle.
Yeah.
Scotty, I could talk to you for days about golf.
I'm sure I could talk for days about golf.
But sadly, I genuinely could, but sadly, producer Billy, whose mum's picking him up just after 7 tonight, he's just said, we've got to get to our next guest. We can't keep waiting. But I appreciate your time, appreciate you coming in. Are you back on our show later on today?
Yeah.
Okay, what time are you in? 5? Okay, more of Max Scott in about 20 minutes. So between then and now, we will continue away from football just for a moment, because this weekend in Manchester sees Misfits Boxing 22 roll into town, headlining the night. Shut the door. Headlining the night boxing is former UFC champion Darren Till, the legend that is, who joins us now. Darren, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, mate. I wasn't a champion in the UFC, though I was just a title contender.
UFC champion Darren Till. Right, can you hold on 1 second, Darren? Billy sacked. Sorry about that, Darren. His former UFC should have been champion, Darren Till. How's that? Hi, Darren.
Hi, mate. You okay?
I'm good. Thanks so much for coming on. Listen, we're excited about the weekend's boxing. You must be as well, right?
Yeah, I'm excited, yeah. I'm excited.
You took a... Please, can I just say, please watch your language. We dumped that one, but we've only got one dump left, all right? So just be careful. Kids are listening, Darren.
Sorry.
That's okay. So listen, tell us about the weekend. How's the preparation going for that? How confident are you? Tell us a bit about your opponent.
My opponent, I used to watch him when I was a kid. He was a Strikeforce champion, and he was a UFC world champion. He's been around the game a long time. His accolades speak for themselves. You know, he's still got what it takes to beat any man on the planet, especially inside the ring and an octagon. So I took it very seriously. My camp's, you know, as every fighter on here probably says, gone phenomenal. So it has, yeah, it's gone phenomenal. Just all the cliche things to say, innit, really.
Yeah. Oh, great, Darren. Listen, wish you the very best of luck, pal, as well. And I'm always fascinated by this whole Jake Paul scenario, that the way that he's marched into boxing and clearly has marketed himself brilliantly, and there seems to be more hype around his fights than anything else on this planet. If he takes on Gervonta Davis, which apparently is the one that he's now going for, is he got any chance in that fight whatsoever, Darren, in your opinion, or not?
He shouldn't have, but it's the circus at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boxing, so who knows? There could be a conversation under the table to say, you know, I honestly couldn't tell you. He shouldn't beat him. He definitely shouldn't beat him. Is he good enough? You know, he's got skills. He obviously works hard, but The circus is upon us, and I'm a big part of the circus, innit? Do you know what I mean? So don't be upset when you've invited the circus in and we're all walking around looking like clowns, especially Turkey as well. Turkey said he'd never entertain the ideas, but now he's entertaining it, so
yeah.
it seems to go back on the models.
What Jake Paul obviously does by having these, if you call them fights, is focus the attention well and truly on boxing. You're involved in it now. I think I'm right in saying the last time you were involved in MMA was a couple of years ago in 2023. Have you turned your back on it permanently now, or do you ever expect to see yourself maybe back in the octagon one day?
Just depends. It just depends where my life goes now. I'm earning a lot of money with Misfits. You know, they're putting on big fights for myself. They got Luke Rockhold in, so it just depends where my life goes in the next 2-3 years with them. You know, whether I end up fighting Jake Paul or something like that. It just all depends. You know, if I make enough money and I just want to get out of here and just live on a villa sipping sangria somewhere. So I don't know. We'll see. I would like to probably go back. You know, I feel like I didn't finish my time there, but it just depends.
How do you think the public view Misfits boxing? Do you think that you need a couple of decent fights under your belt to then step up to, I say normal boxing, but you understand where I'm going with this, right? Is it a platform for people like you, do you think?
I wouldn't step up to normal boxing more and get paid $5 grand off to be a pro. I'm earning absolute fortunes with Misfits, so I'm happy where I am in the circus.
Really? You make that much money in Misfits boxing? There's no need for you to step up to professional boxing?
Just bought an apartment in Dubai. Misfits are paying well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what's your plan? I mean, it's playing really well. So what's your plan then? Is it like 3-4 fights, or just see where this one takes you?
This is my last fight with Misfits, but because I've been so consistent with them, everything they've asked of me, I've done. This is my last fight on my contract, so I'm sure they're going to come back and offer me something, you know, bigger and more interesting. Bare Knuckle have offered me. Jake Paul's promotion offered me something. I've had an MMA organisation offer me something, but to be quite honest, I'm happy with Misfits, and I'm sure they'll give me a big offer after this fight. So
the Bare Knuckle is what James DeGale's just signed up for, is that right?
I think so, yeah. He's fighting one of my friends, Matt Floyd.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that looks absolutely brutal, that does. How old, do you mind me asking how old you are, Darren? I don't have it in front of me.
32.
Oh, so he's still incredibly young then, right?
Yeah, very young. I think the Bare Knuckles probably when you get to like your 40s and that, you've spent all your money and you just want to have a last hurrah. That's how I see it anyway. And I'll be there because I'll definitely have spent all my money.
Yeah, I can imagine. You and me both. How different is the training for a UFC fight and a boxing match?
I think the training's easier to train for as a boxer. I think it's less taxing on the body, but I think as a fight, I think boxing's a much more dangerous sport because, and I've had this argument, well, I haven't had this argument because I don't argue with idiots, but basically 12 rounds of head trauma in boxing is just constant punches to the face and to the head. And obviously over time, if you have 10, 20 pro fights, that can create, we know the term CT, whereas in MMA, it can be stop-start on the ground, a lot of grappling involved. It's usually one-punch knockouts because of the smaller gloves. So I've been asked this question. I think boxing's the more rigorous sport to fight in. I think MMA is the more harder one to train for.
Yeah.
Do you think boxing is a lot more dangerous than MMA?
100%, because MMA, you get kicked in the legs, but, leg damage doesn't give you brain damage. It's the 12 rounds, especially when you see at the high level, your Canelos and stuff like that. Or if you go back in time to the 90s, some of the best fights ever produced. It's just 12 rounds of constant punches to the head. Your eyes are closed. You're getting knocked at the top of the head where the equilibrium is. And that's what's caused most of the CT. So as an MMA fighter and a bigger MMA fan, I have to go with boxing being the hard sport to fight in.
Yeah, I agree with you. You get knocked down in boxing. You might even get knocked out, but you're standing up, you're going on adrenaline. You don't have the opportunity to do that in UFC. If you get knocked out, that's the end of the fight. Listen, I know, I was going to say, I hope that doesn't happen to you. I know it won't the weekend. We wish you all the very best.
Yeah, best
Darren.
of luck, Darren.
And thanks so much for coming on, pal.
Thank you. Appreciate that, guys.
Thanks, man. There you go, Darren Till. I mean, we're talking about tough cookies, by the way.
Maybe it's the term misfits.
Yeah, I think that is.
Surely you'd have thought that
it doesn't sound as great as it should do, does it?
No.
Because it sounds like they're all misfits, but they're not. These are proper athletes,
proper athletes who are really trying to put on a proper show as well. And I just think maybe that term, I mean, if it had been called something else, it might make it more popular than it is.
I agree with you. Yeah. Although I did make a mistake calling him what was it, former UFC champion.
Yes.
I say I made the mistake. How do you spell P45 for Billy? P 45. Yeah. Let me go and speak to Billy. I'll be back after this. Drama talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein. The legend is Andy Townsend alongside. It's us till 7. Still to come. We'll be looking ahead to another busy night of Carabao Cup action and whether the competition is important for Ruben Amarim is one of the questions we'll be asking a bit later on. I think from 6, that one. Just quickly, Spurs have drawn up a 5-man shortlist of attacking options with Morgan Rogers high on the list. There's no way Villa will let him go, surely.
No,
he's a player
I'd be
and a half.
Staggered if Morgan Rogers went out the door, because he is key, crucial to the, I think, how well Villa do this year.
I agree. Palace, they're reportedly getting closer to signing Arsenal's Reece Nelson as well.
Okay.
Right, time now for this.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yeah, it's time now for today's Bet Builder with our friends at Paddy Power. Let's welcome Graham Byrne to the show. Bernie, good afternoon.
Yeah, how are you doing, Andy? Good to talk to you.
Good, and you too as well. Thanks for coming on. We are looking forward to lunchtime on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League as Chelsea play Fulham at the Bridge. Before we talk about runners and riders, can you remind everyone how the Bet Builder works and the charity that may benefit if we get this one right?
Yeah, the Bet Builder works. We put together some scenarios within a game. There's 5 scenarios that we're going to put together, and we picked it between us, and it's going to come to about 20-1. And we are supporting the Attitude Foundation, who support a range of causes across the LGBTQ community.
Okay, good stuff. Fingers crossed. It's a 5-leg Bet Builder. These are our picks. I've gone for both teams to score.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. That's what I was going to pick, but you got in there before me.
Let me say it again. Hold on. We've gone for both teams to score. How's that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a nice price because I think Chelsea were slightly lucky to keep a clean sheet against Palace in the opening week. That disallowed goal, if you remember, from the free kick. And then West Ham scored one. They could have had 2 as well. They had one that was ruled out for offside. Is it fair for me to say the Chelsea keeper can be a little bit dodgy at times?
So you can say that.
Yeah, and Fulham, they don't give up. They've been behind them both the game so far, and they've just kept going, and they've got themselves equalisers, so they've got some good attacking threat. So I'm with you on that, Andy.
Okay.
Yep.
Next up is Andy Townsend. He's gone for quite a convoluted one here.
Well, listen, Chelsea -1 handicap. So just explain that one, Graham, please. For all
Chelsea have to win by 2 or more goals, Andy. In this one. So if Chelsea win 1-0, it's a loser. If Chelsea win 2-0, it's a winner. 3-0, 4-0. 4-1, you get it. They're going to win by 2 clear goals or more.
I think they will.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds quite
and
simple.
I have to ask you, Andy, when you played for Chelsea, did you ever fear playing Fulham? Because I'm looking at the record here of Chelsea playing Fulham, and I believe Fulham have got the worst record against Chelsea than any team.
Is that right? Is that right? I'm not even
not
sure.
when Andy was playing.
I was going to say, I'm sure I've done everything possible to try and correct that. I don't actually remember playing Fulham for Chelsea. I think because they might have been in the league below.
Right, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
At Andy's age, he doesn't remember what he goes up the stairs for.
Very true.
All right, gets to the top and he's like, "What am I doing?" And he lives in a bungalow.
They've played each other 36 times in the Premier League, and Fulham have only won 3 games.
Wow,
against them.
I'd love to know. I'd love to know when those 3 were. It'd be amazing if you were playing.
There's some Fulham fans who know, like they're local rivals as well. You think so? You'd imagine they'd be up for it, but they've got a dismal record.
Andy just said it. That wasn't me.
I doubt it.
Right, so let's move on. Let's go for producer Billy. Has gone for João Pedro to score at any time.
Yeah, he looks a player. Look, he could be a missing link for Chelsea here. I mean, we're just watching the World Club Championships during the summer, and all of a sudden he's there and he's scoring goals. And like, where's he come from? Brighton, and he's carried it on. Scored last week against West Ham. He just looks up for it, and they're going to create lots of chances. So why not?
Yeah.
Right, 3 down, 2 to go. Next up, the people. What have they gone for, Graham?
They've gone for Enzo Fernandez to commit 2 or more fouls. Now, he's reminiscent of Andy Townsend, if you remember, in his pomp, strutting across Stamford Bridge, box to box. He likes getting stuck in either end of the pitch. He committed 2 fouls against West Ham, so why not at that one as well?
And the last is yours. Now, you were going to go with what I went for, but you've changed it to what?
I changed the Pedro Neto to score or assist at any time in the game because he's really impressed me in the opening 2 games. Working on the assumption Cole Palmer won't be playing. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, but Pedro Neto has just looked the part to me. He's involved in most good things that Chelsea are doing.
I agree. Before I let you go, can you just confirm the odds and the value of the trade bet one more time, please?
Yeah, the odds are 20-1. So hopefully the Attitude Foundation, if we can get all our stuff together, will be the recipients of a nice bet.
Graham, well, you've been on our show before, right?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years now since I've been on, Andy.
Well, let me tell you, I'll be honest, you are fantastic. So thank you so much for your time. You've been brilliant today.
Means everything to me,
Nice
Andy.
one,
Good
Graham.
luck.
Really
Good
great
luck
work.
against Grimsby tonight, Andy.
Oh, no, why have you said that? You don't even mean that, do you? You don't.
Sincere,
You're such a liar. Who's your team?
Tottenham.
They're doing all right at the moment. They're doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know what?
surprisingly.
I know it's early days, and you've only had 2 games. I reckon you'll stay up.
Hopefully. Hopefully. I'll finish one place above Man United.
Shut your face. Have a lovely day. See you later.
See you later.
Thanks,
Bye.
man. There you go. That's Paddy Power's bet better for today. Minimum to Viper leg. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Now, when we all woke up this morning, we came to work, we had a little chat. 5 o'clock wasn't going to be what 5 o'clock is. And that's because Andy Townsend said, Scott, sorry, I don't think you should be able to play for your country if you're not playing for your club. And I went, That is brilliant. Let's do that at 5. And producer Billy went, and I went, Billy, no one listens to you anyway. So that's what we're doing. Actually, Billy did choose it as well. Isak has been called up to the Swedish national side.
Shouldn't be allowed to play.
Shouldn't be allowed to play.
Should not be allowed to go. If you're not playing for your club, if you're refusing to train, cooperate, play for your club, then you can't have it always up. He should not be allowed to go and
so
play.
we're the semi-finals of World Cup. Bellingham's not playing for Real Madrid.
Well, if he's refusing to play for Real Madrid, he shouldn't play either.
Okay. I think this one will be big if you want to be a part of it. In fact, if your Switchboard is clear at the moment, if you're not playing for your club because you're refusing to, should you be allowed to play for your country when called upon? 03717 223344. That's how we start hour number 2, live on Drive on talkSPORT.
Ruben Amarim says he's going to mix up his squad for Man United's EFL Cup match at Grimsby tonight. Rasmus Højlund's available for the game against their League Two opponents. Despite speculation, he's ready to leave Old Trafford. That game is live on talkSPORT. Another player who could make tonight's lineup is Kobbie Mainoo, but there is uproar from many fans at the idea he could leave. talkSPORT understands he would consider leaving for a suitable offer. Club legend John O'Shea is baffled that he's not getting any game time under Amarim.
He's a quality player. United cannot afford to be losing him or selling him for any reason whatsoever. He's definitely, I hope, part of the future of the club that's going to be successful, without a doubt.
Jared Bowen's apologised after confronting a West Ham fan following their Carabao Cup exit to Wolves last night. Graham Potter's side have lost 3 games from 3 this season, conceding 11 goals. Simon Jordan says the Hammers boss hasn't lost his job just yet, though.
They're not worried about a League Cup game. That's the narrative that we're going to create. The media are going to create that and build the pressure, and the fans are going to respond to it, and they're going to latch upon it, and they're going to keep on and on. West Ham fans have spent a significant proportion of the West Ham fans, not all of them, spend all their time complaining about what their football club doesn't do. You know, their football club is massive at one particular moment. No, it's not. Never has been.
Well, Danny Murphy expects a troublesome season unless they can get some last-minute big transfers.
They've got a long, hard season ahead. Unless they do a good bit of business in the next few days, and have they got the finances to do that, or can they be cute on a couple of loans? they need a couple more in the building, that's for sure.
Well, the club are looking to bring in some players. We understand they're proposing a loan deal with an obligation to buy for Botafogo's John Victor. And Monaco midfielder Songutu Magasa is set for a medical. And will Rangers be able to keep their Champions League campaign hopes alive tonight? They've got a bit of a mountain to climb, though. It's currently 3-1 to Belgian side Club Brugge. There's more on this at talksport.com.
Welcome back to our number 2 drive time on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, and the equally brilliant Andy Townsend alongside. Have you got your fish joke?
Well, I've looked at a couple on my phone.
You can't, that's cheating.
No, I know, but, well, look, hold on, I'm not one of the comedians here, like, can just conjure them up. Chubby Brown.
Chubby Wait, don't come out of a Chubby Brown gag, whatever you do. What have you got?
No, well, I haven't really, because the ones that I just looked at were, unfortunately, I don't think it.
Well, you are looking at Chubby Brown gag, is it? I got one for you.
Go on.
Do you hear about the crab that went to an underwater disco? He pulled a muscle.
Yeah, I like it. See, that's good.
No, fine,
yeah,
I can't leave it there. Still to come on our show, Asmir Begovic will join us in the studio, but now Alexander Isak has been called up to the Sweden squad for the upcoming internationals, despite refusing to play for Newcastle as he seeks to move to Liverpool. So the question we're asking at 5 today, should you be allowed to represent your country if you don't want to represent your club?
Alex Crook got a bit of news about Newcastle United. Alex, what you got?
Explosive statement has just been dropped by Alexander Isak. And he says, I've kept quiet for a long time. The reality is that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. Alexander Isak goes on to say, when promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship cannot continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself. Now, this is Newcastle reacting to that bombshell Instagram post from Alexander Isak, where he talks about broken promises and the loss of trust. That Alex remains under contract and that no commitment has ever been made by a club official that he can leave Newcastle United this summer. Alex remains part of our family and will be welcomed back when he is ready.
I think this is a great question. If Isak does play for Sweden, it will be the first game he's played for, 3 months. The striker has been training alone, has missed all the games so far for Newcastle this season. And with the window closing on Monday, he is continuing to push for a move to Liverpool. But you, Andy Townsend, think that if you are refusing to play for your club, then you shouldn't be allowed to play for your country.
No, there should be rules in place that prevent that from happening. He's had no desire to want to play for Newcastle, want to even train, as as we all are aware of. I mean, that's what we think is the situation. And if that's the case, if you don't want to go to work and if you don't want to play in pre-season friendlies or when the club asks you to play, then why should you be allowed to go and all of a sudden just go and play for your country because it suits you, because you feel you're entitled to? I really, really, and I'm very serious here, don't think that should be allowed. I'm amazed that there aren't better rules in place by governing bodies like FIFA and UEFA to prevent that from happening. I don't think you should. I think if you've got a beef with your club and that you can't resolve and you end up refusing to play, well, I'm sorry, then that should rule you out of everything.
Aren't you being held to ransom? Isn't that a bit of blackmail? I mean, I don't think one's connected to the... Let's just say you're having a huge problem with an owner or a manager, and you are maybe they promise you something behind the scenes, they haven't gone through with that promise, and you're feeling a little bit left out of the squad, you're feeling a little bit let down by the club. So you've got a personal problem between someone high up at your club. What's the connection between that relationship breaking down and why you shouldn't be allowed to play for your country?
Because you're refusing to play. Having an issue, having a personal problem with an owner or a coach or something around the club, having a problem is an everyday occurrence at football clubs. There are problems across the board at every single club. There are personality clashes and issues every single day. But you cannot refuse to play if you are a footballer. And if you refuse to play, then you shouldn't be allowed all of a sudden to go and play somewhere else because it suits you, i.e. playing for your country, wanting to play in a World Cup. I think it's absolutely outrageous. I think Newcastle pay Alexander Isak an awful lot of money for his services. He was very happy to sign a contract. Yes, things have broken down. Just don't refuse to play, and then he can go and play for Sweden. He can go and play.
One's his employer, right?
Yeah, and one's his national team.
I just don't think they're connected.
Well, I think they should be. I genuinely think they should be. I think you should. I think the club should have the right to say.
They're being held to ransom then.
Well, it's not a case of being held to. You're refusing to do your job. Anyone else listening out there, anybody, and I don't like comparing other walks of life to football because they're all very, very, very different. Yeah. But you just, if you refuse to work, then all of a sudden, why should that club who are paying you? What happens if he goes off? I mean, actually, it's after the window is now closed.
Yeah.
So, but he could go off to and do his ACL. He could go and do anything next week. He's not.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this: How do you determine the different levels of why a player is refusing to play? So for argument's sake, right?
Yeah.
It's I'm just trying to think of when it will work in the season. Let's say it's May time, right? Last couple of weeks of May. So the football season's just coming to an end, and you've got the World Cup coming up. You've got a little niggling injury. This is you, Andy Townsend, right?
Okay.
And you've got 2 games left for your club.
And we've all been in this scenario. Lots of people have been in this scenario.
And you're going to go to the World Cup in Republic of Ireland, but you've got a little niggle around your knee, let's just say. And you know that if you get a whack, that probably keeps you out of that World Cup squad.
Yes.
So I'm the manager, and I say we're playing Everton away today. And you're like, yeah, listen, the game means nothing to us. We're going to finish 10th anyway, right? So we can't go down with my knees. Probably, I'd rather not play. Well, you're going to play, Andy. No, but do you know what? I just don't feel I should be. In case I get a whack, I'm not in the world. Andy, you're playing, right? No, I'm not playing. Then what happens?
Well, if you're refusing,
what happens to Andy Townsend? Is he not going to the World Cup
to play? Then look, that sort of situation. There's been lots of times players, maybe not a couple of games before a World Cup, but certainly 2 months before a World Cup, they need a hernia operation, one of those sort of niggly injuries that you can kind of sometimes play with, but you're not at your best and you want to get sorted out. Players go in and have an op in at the end of January, February time in order to be fighting fit, flying through the door come April time towards the end of the season so as you're ready for a summer. That does happen a lot, but we're talking about something very different.
We're still talking about the bottom line of a player refusing to play.
Yeah, but no. There's if you're saying you're injured.
Okay, I'll give you another scenario, right?
Yeah.
You come to the end of your contract, right? You've spoken to the owner. He says, we'll sort out your deal next week, right? We're going to give you a $100,000 raise. Okay, next week comes. Well, excuse me. Oh, we'll do it in a month. Well, you said this week. Oh, we'll do it in a month. Listen, if you don't do it this week, I'm not playing. Until you get that contract sorted, I'm not playing for your club.
Andy, I don't think there's one scenario you can paint to me that would make me go, actually, yeah, I think you're right. Honestly, I don't. I think Alexander Isak. Look, I think he's been really poorly advised on this one. The road that he's chosen to go down. He made his bed. He's now got to lie in it. I think he's very lucky to be out going play for his country, and I think the rules should change.
Okay, let's speak to Chris. Maybe he can convince you. Although he might agree with you. I don't really know. Hello, Chris, the Man United fan.
Hello, guys. Andy, how's it going?
Well, good, man. How are you today?
Good, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, not too bad. Just carrying my toddler who won't let me put her down, but when I pick her up, she wants to pick my nose. So I'm a bit of a rock of a hard place at the minute.
See, Andy Townsend had that problem, and I'll tell you now, we shouldn't have picked that nose. Look at it.
Yeah, too much info there, Chris. But we know what's going on. Don't worry.
Yeah, cool.
What would you like to say?
Yeah, so basically, when you're employed by a company, if you want to go and do charity work, you can only do that based on the approval of the employer. I think football should be the same. I think for you to go and play for your country, you should only be able to go and play for your country if you've got the approval of the club. We talk about you've just brought up loads of scenarios there. I bring up Luke Shaw going to play for England in the Euros when he hadn't played for United before or after for a while. So I think there's loads of specific examples there, but ultimately, if the club agree for you to go to play for your country, then that it should be on the club. They pay your wages. They're the ones that make
let me ask you then. I hear what you're saying. Let me ask you. If Newcastle come out and say you ain't playing for your country, that relationship is over.
Definitely.
Okay, so then what happens? Liverpool know that relationship's over, and Liverpool go, we were going to offer you 150, we're going to offer you 100. Then what happens?
Well, then that's on the club, isn't it? You're talking about the specifics that are obviously reputational damage to the club, but that's what the club have got to consider. At the end of the day, the process should be the club approving it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't think the permission side of things is imperative. If you're available to play and you've been available to play for your club and the club choose not to play you, you're in the reserves, you're in the bomb squad, whatever people want to call it, and then all of a sudden you get the call up to go and play for your country, you've every right to go. You've every right
Absolutely.
to go. But and I don't really see that the club should have to get sort of written permission from the national teams to release the player. I'm not sure that.
But you think the other way round? You think if it should be a rule that if you don't play for your club,
if you're refusing,
you are not allowed to play for your country.
If you're refusing to play, if you're refusing to go to work, refusing to train, refusing to play, then I don't think you should be allowed. I think the club should have the right there to prevent you from going to play for your country.
It's an interesting debate. If you want to be a part of it, then you need to pick up the phone now because you'll be next. 03717 223344. Asmir Begovic will be with us in the studio in about 15 minutes. We've got the best of talkSPORT. Then, of course, we look ahead to live commentary on talkSPORT. Grimsby take on Manchester United. There's quite a few other big games. Everton take on Mansfield. That one's live on talkSPORT too. And we'll have team news ahead of those games. Fulham, they take on Bristol City. Oxford against Brighton. Team news ahead of all of those games. The end of show quiz. A real busy show. But if you want to have your say on whether or not you should be allowed to play for your country, if you refuse to play for your club, 03717 223344. Dial that. You could be next. Live on Drive on talkSPORT. Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein. Andy Townsend is with me. Bentley's back tomorrow. In case you're going, where's Bentley's back? I've just told you he's back tomorrow. Still to come in our show. We'll have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. Just quickly, Aston Villa and Bayern Munich are still interested in Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. I've never known one player get so much interest from so many clubs and still yet to move.
Why would he want to go Bayern? He's going to go there.
On the bench.
They've just signed Luis Diaz. They've got Elise. They've got Harry Kane. He's going to go there and not play. Essentially,
I don't get that.
Nicholas Jackson wants to go somewhere now where he's going to be like the main man each week to improve.
Wonga.com.
Yes. Well, look, I mean, yeah.
Is he short of money? I don't know if these footballers ever are, right?
No, I wouldn't have thought so, Ant. I wouldn't have thought that should be the number one issue. Look, going to Bayern, great, very brilliant club, and they're going to be winning things, of course. But you've also got to play. This game football is all about getting out there and playing. Yeah. And if you're not, it's never quite as good as it seems.
I agree. Wolves have rejected a second Newcastle bid for striker Strand Larsen. That's worth £55 million. But now we're taking your call. Should you be allowed to play for your country if you refuse to play for your club? Leon is an Arsenal fan. Hi, Leon.
How you doing, lads? You right?
We are great. How are you today?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Looking forward to the football this evening, that's for sure.
I don't think I am, actually. Could be an awful
Yeah, I wouldn't be. Either, to be fair. My eldest one's not looking forward to it either.
You're what? Your youngest?
My eldest, he's a Man United fan, unfortunately.
How's that work then? You're an Arsenal fan, your eldest is a Man United fan. How's that work?
Yeah, he went with his mum, innit?
Oh, dear.
But the good thing, my youngest one is with me, so I'm all right with that.
Okay. Is your younger one your favourite child then?
Nah, definitely not.
Okay. Right, what's your view on all things club v country, Leon?
Personally, I think you should be allowed to play for your country regardless. I don't think they have a part to play with the club whatsoever, especially when you think about the fans as well. I don't think the fans should lose out on seeing one of their players play just because he's got a dispute with his club when he's playing for his country. I don't think there should be. Yeah, I think he should be fine to play for it. And on that note with Isak, I do think that the way that people have been speaking about Isak, I think is a little bit wrong, because it's funny when a player wants to leave a club, everyone gets on the player's back if the player wants out and the club don't want him to go anywhere. But when it's the other way around, no one criticises a club for getting rid of a player when a player doesn't want to go.
That's true.
So I do think a lot of the criticism on Isak is harsh, because we don't have the same criticism against clubs when they do it to players.
Yeah.
And when they do it to players, you know, I mean, his family is getting uprooted, kids going to new schools. I think it's a far bigger impact on that family than it is on a football club in that sense.
Do you think, Leon, Isak would be a Liverpool player by now had he have just gone back to training, had he have played for Newcastle pre-season, had he have just done things perhaps what we would consider the right way to go about it? Do you think he'd be a Liverpool player now or not?
I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think the way he's behaved is correct. I wouldn't advise, if I was an agent, I wouldn't advise my player to behave that way. But then we don't really hear too much of how players are treated by clubs when clubs want to get rid of them. And we only kind of hear that when they retire, and you hear about stories after retire and stuff. So I think it just needs to be a bit more fair. If we're going to criticise one, then when it's a player doing it, then I think we should criticise clubs when clubs do it to players.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good. I mean,
good points.
There's some points that Leon makes there that are true. Clubs have often had it all their way. Certainly in my day, before the Bosman ruling, you could be out of contract, and yet the club could still hold your registration and prevent you from going.
I think you
anywhere.
should explain that in more detail, because genuinely young kids listening will have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, but that's
so
how
your contract would end.
So your contract would end.
There was no leaving on a free.
No, you couldn't. Only with the club's permission.
Yeah.
If the club
so you sign a 5-year deal.
You sign a 5-year deal. You see you 5 years out, and then if the club wanted you to retain your registration, they could, which essentially meant you were then not free to go and do whatever you wanted to do, take your trade elsewhere, which is exactly what John Bosman did. He felt that was restraint of trade, and so that's why he fought so hard for players of that generation and future generations. So that's what happened. But Leon does make a point about clubs have often been in the driving seat when it comes to controlling players, and I would not disagree with that.
Anthony's up next. He is a Newcastle fan. Hi, Ant.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great, man. How are you? Where are you off to? You coming back from work?
I'm just picking my son up. I've got him this weekend, so yeah, it'd be nice.
All right. What are you doing with your son the weekend? What are you up to?
Well, hopefully play some football in the garden if the weather stays nice, and take him out for the day tomorrow, last of the school holidays before they get ready to go back.
How old is he?
He's 8 years old.
8?
Yeah.
You want to go to the zoo? Great day out at the zoo.
Yeah, it is, but it's expensive, isn't it?
Is it? Is it expensive to go to a zoo nowadays?
Yeah, for the average working Joe it is, yeah. Talking £100 plus to take the family. So,
what?
Yeah.
£100 to go to a zoo?
There must be 20. It's got to be 20 quid. It's got to be £20 a head, isn't it?
Oh my God! I mean,
it must be
higher than that.
At least
higher than that. And then you got your food and drink if you're a mug, and it's just endless.
That is insane money. Don't go to the zoo.
Yep.
What?
No.
Go to the park, kick a ball about. It's cheap. It's the only thing you can do without costing you money nowadays. What do you want to say, Ant?
Enjoy it more.
Yeah, you would.
What I want to say is, Isak, right? Okay, so if he stays, great. If he goes, he goes. Whatever, it is what it is. Life is life. But if he's refusing to play, so at work, if I refused, and like you, if you refused to fulfil your contract that you signed into, you would be held with no pay. You'd be put on garden leave, like Dan Ashworth was last year. You wouldn't be allowed.
Hold on. If you're a train driver, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't be able to take part in any sport.
No, but if you're a train driver and you refuse to work, you don't work and you still get paid.
Well, okay, so train drivers are exception to the rule, but if you sign a contract to say that you are going to commit yourself for 5 years, and then you decide that you're not going to do that now, how would your company treat you?
I think what happens in the footballing world is you get to a stage where you can get sued. You're going to have to pay some money back, right?
Yeah.
I think you'll get fined. Not sued, sorry, fined. You'll get fined.
The other perspective for me, I think you should be allowed to play for your country regardless of what's going on with your club, because the two aren't connected. Don't care what anyone says. But why, as a club, would anyone want to sign a player that after a few years into his contract is going to decide, I don't want to play for you anymore,
well,
I'm not going to fulfill my obligation?
You know why?
Well, no. Why
okay.
would you want that?
Okay, if Messi was at Barcelona and fell out with Barcelona and said, I'm not playing for Barcelona again, would you want him at Newcastle when he's pumped, 26?
Well, yeah, of course. However, the danger would always be that he's going to decide in a few years he's going to go. Look how Trent was treated when he was leaving. He fulfilled his contract. He won that club trophies, medals, whatever. He committed a decade of his life to that club, and he was treated like,
I agree with you.
Well, he was scum, right?
I agree with you.
If Alexander Isak went to Liverpool and then decided in 2 years into his contract or 3 years in, actually, you know what? I'm better than this, and I want to go play for Madrid, right? Do you think the Liverpool fans would be so keen on Isak? No, they wouldn't.
No.
So why would you want a player like that in your ranks?
Because he scores goals for you.
Yeah, okay, so if he stays, great. But if he goes, he goes. It is what it is. But why would I want...
Okay,
it's twisted. Why would I want to sign Witter either?
You know the answer to that, Anne. I'll give you a prime example, right? If you could sign Harry Kane for a season...
Take the emotion out of it that way.
Okay, hold on. If you could sign Harry Kane for a season, and he guarantees you 50 goals, and at the end of the season, you know he's going to turn around and say, I've had enough of it here, would you take him?
No.
You would, mate. Of course you
No, no. Why
would.
Why would you?
Because it's all about success for a
season.
Because that's how football is.
How is him scoring 50 goals a year going to guarantee you success? You can score as many goals as you want in a game, but you can lose the next 3 games on the bounce.
All right, okay. All right. I'll exaggerate a point to prove a point. If Harry Kane signed for your club for 1 season, won you the Premier League, and at the end of it said, I hate Newcastle and everything about it, I'm never coming back again, I'm off, would you have him?
For that season and win the league? Of course I would, yeah. I'm not going to say I'm not.
That's the answer.
That would be daft.
That's
not the answer, though, is it? You've got someone that doesn't want to fulfil their contract, has turned his back on his obligations, turned his back on his...
But you've just said you'd have that person.
No, so...
You did, you just said yes.
Come to us,
yeah.
Yes, but I don't know that he's going to do that. If Harry Kane's got form for that, then I'd probably be going, well, I'd be a bit wary of that.
But you're saying, why would any club want the player? And I've just given you the reason, because if you think that player's going to be successful and take you to another level, you don't really care about what he's done in the past. Football's got no morals, no fans.
Surely your team as your brand would do that. If you as a Manchester United fan can't honestly tell me that you would sign a player that has refused to play for his club for months.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't surely tell me that.
100%.
You wouldn't. But I suppose that's delusional Man United fans.
No, that's not. You've just said as a Newcastle fan you'd take Kane if he did that.
No.
You said yeah. You said yeah.
If he refused to play for Bayern,
yeah.
If he refused to play for Bayern for the last 3 months,
yeah.
Force a move,
yeah.
And we went in for him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go, I'm not supporting Newcastle United anymore, but I wouldn't think as a player he was my number one fantasy.
You don't have to think about whether or not he's your number one fantasy player. It's just where football's got no morals, nor fans, right? If he comes in, he's successful, he wins you a cup, all is forgotten.
What happens if everyone striker did this? If all of a sudden this became a trend,
yeah.
What Isak's doing. I mean, Wissa, I don't know to what degree or whatever. I don't know where that is at Brentford. But what happens if all of a sudden everybody said, I'm doing it as well. I don't want to play for you. We would have carnage. We would have
carnage on the streets.
We would have but it would be. The game would become. Well, it would just be a joke. It would just be ridiculous, and it would. And player power then will have entered a completely new generation.
It's all about supply and demand. It's all very well someone like Isak doing it, but you get a right back no one really cares about. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, can we carry this on in a minute because I'm going to get in trouble?
Go on then.
All right. So still to come, we'll have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. First up, it's time for no Googling. I had to get that in, otherwise we wouldn't have done no Googling. We want to know who's the only player to score 5 goals in one half of a Premier League football match. Who's the only player to score 5 goals in one half of a Premier League football match? Don't answer it yet. The answer to that and loads more coming up live and drive on talkSPORT after this.
Ruben Amarim says he's going to mix up his squad for Man United's EFL Cup match at Grimsby tonight. Rasmus Højlund's available for the game against their League Two opponents. Despite speculation, he's ready to leave Old Trafford. That game is live on talkSPORT. Another player who could make tonight's lineup is Kobbie Mainoo, but there is uproar from many fans at the idea he could leave. talkSPORT understands he would consider leaving for a suitable offer. Club legend John O'Shea is baffled that he's not getting any game time under Amarim.
He's a quality player. United cannot afford to be losing him or selling him for any reason whatsoever. He's definitely, I hope, part of the future of the club that's going to be successful, without a doubt.
Jared Bowen's apologised after confronting a West Ham fan following their Carabao Cup exit to Wolves last night. Graham Potter's side have lost 3 games from 3 this season, conceding 11 goals. Simon Jordan says the Hammers boss hasn't lost his job just yet, though.
They're not worried about a League Cup game. That's the narrative that we're going to create. The media are going to create that and build the pressure, and the fans are going to respond to it, and they're going to latch upon it, and they're going to keep on and on. West Ham fans spend all their time complaining about what their football club doesn't do. You know, their football club is massive at one particular moment. No, it's not. Never has been.
And will Rangers be able to keep their Champions League campaign hopes alive tonight? They've got a bit of a mountain to climb, though. It's currently 3-1 to Belgian side Club Brugge. There's more on this at talksport.com.
Drive on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein, Andy Townsend alongside. Before the break, asked the question, who's the only player to score 5 goals in one half of a Premier League football match? Usually I come up with a clue, but I don't want to prolong it because we
Correct.
Do you know the answer?
Well, I thought it was Andy Cole, but it's not.
Jermaine Defoe.
Ah, is it?
Spurs beat Wigan 9-1.
Wow.
Yes, still to come, we'll be looking ahead to a big night of Carabao Cup football and discussing the future of Kobbie Mainoo. We'll find out, actually, excuse me, in our show if he makes that start 11 for Manchester United, so stick around for that. But now, it's time to welcome Leicester goalkeeper, former Premier League winner Asmir Begovic into the studio. Asmir, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Great to see you, pal.
Doing great, thank you. Thanks for
What were you doing? You were in the building, you were recording a podcast, and then I asked you, and you've done us a favour by coming in, so that's very kind.
Yes, anything for you, you know.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say
It's always
that.
a pleasure. Yeah, I was recording a podcast with an old friend of mine, His name's Alex Goldberg. He's from the States. And yeah, talkSPORT were kind enough to let us use the studio. So we record a bit of a podcast and yeah, come in here, pop in and answer a few questions and talk to you guys.
Did we charge you for that?
I wasn't organizing it, so I don't know. Yeah, I think in
this is your
return
fee,
for this, there we go.
Yeah. What's the podcast called in case people
It's called the Alex and Asmir Show. So we're building it a little bit on YouTube.
Okay.
Hopefully in the next few months and years
Good
ahead.
stuff.
So yeah, we just talk a bit of sports.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Listen, we've got lots to talk to you about. Excuse me, I don't know if you heard before the break, we were talking about the Alexander Isak scenario. He's obviously not playing for Newcastle, refusing. Yeah. And we're questioning whether or not he should be allowed to play for Sweden, for his country. What's your view on that? Ours differs between me and Andy. What's your view?
Is that a question? Really?
No, I don't think, Asmir, honestly, I don't think that Isak should be allowed to play if he's refusing to train and refusing to make himself available for his club.
Right.
I don't think that's an outrageous demand to put on a player. I think if you're not making yourself available, then why should you be allowed to go and play international football because it suits you?
Yeah, well, I think the whole situation, I mean, everyone's talking about it. I don't think it's something that probably suits him either. I think it's something's happened behind the scenes, 100%. I don't think Alexander Isak has probably woken up one morning and said, oh, I'm not going to play, or I don't want to play, or I can't play. So I think it's a situation that's been building. I think we've all been there. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. We only see what's in public. So you can only imagine if it's this bad in public, how bad it's going to be behind the scenes. So I feel bad for everyone. Hopefully there's a resolution to be found in the next few days and everyone can just move on for everyone's best
Do you
interest.
think you should be allowed to play for your country?
Yeah, no, I think so.
You do?
I think it's two separate things, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask, because you're in football, and we'll get to Leicester in a moment, but do you know what's happening behind the scenes at Newcastle?
I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I've seen situations with other players in the past, and I've been involved in a couple of things where there's a lot more things that happen behind the scenes that maybe people don't know about.
Very true.
These are very unfortunate situations, and I don't think anyone looks particularly great in it. And I think ultimately it harms the team and harms maybe the culture within the team and results. So they just need to find a resolution as soon as possible.
We'll talk about your new club, Leicester, in just a moment, and we'll talk about your view on all things football. But before we do all that, I want to get your view on a new rule that's coming for goalkeepers this season, holding the ball for 8 seconds or less.
Mm-hmm.
What is that a good rule for a goalkeeper? Obviously, he's there to speed the game up. What do you make of it?
Yeah, always picking on goalkeepers as it is. Yeah, I think it's okay. Obviously, there has to be a little bit of common sense with it. I think they've used the fact that when a player stands in front of you, they stop counting and they count again. So there's a couple different scenarios where I think referees and just the officials have to use a bit of common sense. But yeah, listen, if it's for the best interest of the game and it speeds the game up and everyone, it's a better product for the fans, then for sure, it's something that needs to be done.
We've seen goalies catching it and then dropping to the floor, laying.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that because you're tired?
No, you do it just
a little bit.
You do it to slow things down, take the sting out. If you're in front and there's a couple of minutes left on the clock, of course goalies are gonna do that. So I think those sort of rules have been brought in as a preventative measure for that.
Yeah. Does it change the way you play?
No, I don't think you think about it too much. I think, obviously if you see the referee start the countdown, it's something that we're thinking about more now. But, I think the game and most goalkeepers, you're right, there is a bit of game management going on at certain times of the game. But, I think we try and play as much as we can. I think there's maybe other areas of the game where you could speed up even more. But that's, that's a different topic.
Asmir, I've got to ask you, because as soon as the guy said, Asmir's coming, I said, right, I must ask him. Because what's going on with goalies from corners and those situations now where I'm seeing more goalies wrestling with opposing players than actually keeping their eye on the ball and coming and claiming it or coming and getting it. They're surrounding themselves with their own players, opposing players, making life even more difficult, tons of traffic in and around you. What is going on? Why have these now become such a problem?
Probably quite a few reasons, Andy. It's a really good observation by you. I think there's more set piece coaches, so they've obviously seen, and it's common sense to think, well, if you whip it on the goalkeeper's head and you put body around, it's going to make it difficult for him. So I think a lot more teams are doing that, putting pressures on goalkeepers. I think as well, there's maybe different types of goalkeepers. Like for me, in my game, obviously I'm a little bit taller. I love dealing with crosses, and obviously one of my strengths and using my size. Some goalkeepers, especially shorter ones, it's difficult. And I think that's where as a team and as a goalkeeper, defenders, you have to come together and make sure they're protected well enough.
Is it still your for in years gone by, Andy? Goalkeepers always, if they wanted 3 in the wall, 3 it was. If they wanted 7 in the wall, 7 it is. If they want a player at the near post and no one on the back post, again, that's the way it went. Is that still prevalent now, Asmir, where the goalkeeper makes those calls with the way that you defend those?
It has to be. It has to be. You have to. I mean, especially the area around you. Whether you mark zonally, man to man, sort of the hybrid model. I think that's something as a team.
Right.
But I think when it's around your area, like I know I'm really demanding on my defenders and people around me. If I've got 2 or 3 players around me, I know it's going to be difficult for me to. I can't just throw them out the way, as we saw the penalty on the weekend.
Yeah.
So then I talk to my defender and say, listen, you guys are going to cover the front, and I'm going to cover him behind. So we have to still work as a team. We have to work as a unit. So there's different ways. And then I do also think, Andy, technically and decision-making for goalkeepers is so important.
Okay.
Sometimes it's better not to go. I see a lot of goalkeepers, and I appreciate the aggressive nature and wanting to be proactive and helping out.
What do you mean? Talk about coming off your line?
Yeah, coming off your line. But sometimes you don't need to go. I look at certain times and, your defenders are there. They're there for a reason. Usually a good size. You have dominant headers in that 6-yard box. So go for the ones you can get. I do feel like goalkeepers now maybe pushing the envelope a little too much.
Where's the best place to stand for a goalkeeper on a corner?
Well, I think you stand centrally. I think you try and give yourself a yard.
In the middle of the goal, do you?
Yeah, that's...
No, the reason I say I was always under the impression it's better to stand towards the back post because it's easier to run forward than it is back.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know how true
you
that
probably... Listen, there's probably the classic where one of the nearest foot to the corner is central and then your back foot's in the
okay.
back end. So, but you're relatively central. You want to maybe be a yard away from your line. And then that gives you a chance of obviously going forward, as you rightly say, which is easier. But at the same time, you can't get everything now. With the way the balls are whipped in now and always have been, you have to really make a really split-second decision. And where I refer to the technical part, I see a lot of goalkeepers being committed very early. Right. That means they get caught. Because I do feel like sometimes the decision they made, they do regret it very quickly. Okay. So it's about assessing the flight of the ball and going late rather than going early, because we do have our hands, so we can reach over top of players as well.
Can I ask, and I'm a bit naughty for asking you on air, but I know we had you for 15 minutes. Can we get you for another 15 minutes? Is that, if you've got places to be, then just let us know, because we've got stuff. But if you haven't, I'd love to carry on talking to you.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Will it cost us any money?
I don't know. I'm not organising.
Bill, have we got budget? We've got budget. Okay. Fingers crossed. I might get in trouble. We'll find out. Hopefully more from Asmir Begovic when we come back live and drive on talkSPORT. Drive talkSPORT to me, Andy Goldstein, Andy Townsend alongside still to come. We're looking forward to a big night of Carabao Cup action. Man United in action against Grimsby. That one live on talkSPORT. We'll talk about that from 6. And before the break, we had Asmir Begovic in the studio. We were only meant to have him for 15 minutes, but he was so good. I sort of went, can we just keep you? And he went, oh, yeah, fine, okay.
I mean, what chance did Asmir have with that quit? I mean, you said, is it all right if you stay for another? He's hardly going to say no, is he?
And do you know what? The fact that when we went to an ad break, he actually said, if you can cover the 30 grand that you're paying. I was like, fine, I don't care. We got so much money here at talkSPORT. If only. Thank you so much for staying with us. That's really, really kind of you. We didn't even touch on the fact that you're at Leicester now. So how old are you, if you don't mind me saying?
38.
Okay. That's. I think that's still youngish for goalkeepers, right? Do you consider that old?
I don't consider that old. No, I don't. But I think in terms of football, people do consider you a little bit older, yes.
Okay, how do you feel at the moment?
I feel great, honestly. Yeah. I'm very lucky. Really lucky. My whole career with no injuries, no major injuries. And, still feel great. Still, giving it a go every single day.
How is life at Leicester then?
Life's good. Obviously, I've been there for a month now. Had a good summer, good break, ready to go, recharged. And then, the challenge, the project of Leicester trying to get back into the Premier League. And it's a big club. I mean, it really is. Yeah. The fan base is awesome. Really great. The infrastructure, the stadium, the training ground, unbelievable. So it's a great club to be part of. And I'm enjoying the challenge of helping the team.
When you, obviously I've never been in that situation, but you two have. When you go or potentially move to a new club, is it like buying a house? Like they show you around a few times, you speak to your wife, you both agree whether or not, or I mean, had you seen the infrastructure at Leicester before you get there? Had you seen the training ground? Did you walk around? You didn't?
No, I didn't see anything. Obviously, I know the stadium really well. Heard all good things about the training ground. So it's sometimes, amazing, it really
training
is.
Ground's incredible.
I mean, fair play to the ownership, to everyone involved. I mean, they've really invested in there, and it's a top club. And I mean, the Leicester City didn't need selling to me. I mean, I'm fully aware. I've obviously been in England a long time and understand the tradition and the history of the club and the people running it. So I was probably one of those that I didn't need much selling, but maybe there is players, of course, maybe coming from abroad, where you have to dive into a little bit more.
You see, the role of the goalkeeper, Asmir, has changed an awful lot, particularly recently. It really has. What do you think about the standard now of goalkeepers compared to when perhaps you were in your pomp, maybe? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to back goalkeepers. I really do think it's such a hard role, such a hard position, and I mean, more so now than ever when you have so much scrutiny, so much pressure on you, so much expectation, and I think so many demands because, the goalkeeper is so well-rounded now, so many different attributes to their game. So I do think the level is high. I think there's a lot of quality goalkeepers around, and, but I still think goalkeeping itself hasn't changed. Okay. And I think the main thing still always got to be the main thing, and still be a good goalkeeper, save the ball, dominate your area. And I think those are things that managers and people still want.
I haven't seen much of Leicester this season, albeit highlights. What's their tactics? Are they playing it out from the back? Is it goalkeeper?
Yeah, listen, we try and play possession based.
It's tough for keepers, right? It's so because
it's tough, and I've had to really work on it over the last 10 years. Probably more so than when I started, and we try, of course, but you have to find that right balance. We risk assessment. As goalkeepers, we have to assess the risk and see what we can do. We also don't want to stitch up defenders and give them the ball in silly areas, where maybe you don't see the next pass. So we have to assess the whole situation. But listen, if the ball's got to go, we're not afraid to go in behind and go long and test the back line that way.
There's a new ball in the Premier League, right? Is it the same for all the tiers?
It's been Puma in
Yeah,
the
right.
EFL before.
Oh, you've had that before. Okay,
So it's been there before.
Well,
It's quite
do you
lively.
notice a difference? Some managers suggest that different balls completely.
Yeah. No, different balls are different balls.
Are
yeah.
they?
Yeah, so the Puma are different. I think the Puma Premier League ball is different to the EFL one.
How? What from your perspective?
Just the way it's made, the stitching, obviously the optics of it. There's different material used, so it's definitely not the same ball.
If you got all the balls they used in professional football, right, and they sprayed them all white, and they kicked every one at you, could you tell which is which?
You could tell the difference. Yeah. Yeah.
How bizarre is that?
Honestly, well, obviously we're quite particular. It's our
Yeah.
you know,
It's your business
tool
to
every
know.
single day, right? So we know that. Where it becomes a real big nightmare, guys, is like the lads that are playing different competitions. So using one,
Arteta says this a lot. Is it?
No, Andy, it's a thing. It's a thing. So you're using one ball in the Premier League, one in a domestic cup, then in the Champions League.
How on earth
then
can
in
it
the national
explain
team.
how it can be different?
Just different manufacturers, different construction of the ball.
No, I get that, but like across
Some have always had a reputation to move.
Like for example, the Nike ball last year in the Premier League was the truest one.
Okay.
I think maybe it's a little bit heavier. I don't know the exact ins and outs of the ball, but
So when it was hit, it
wouldn't move as much.
So you love that as a goalkeeper. You love that.
Yeah, we like that.
What's the what? Oh, yeah, sorry, you can't really say the worst one, can you?
The worst one, I mean, the Puma ones are really good, to be fair, quite good. The one that was tough is the European ones. The Europa League used Molten.
Right.
And they were quite lively, very lively.
Are they?
Do you remember the Tango?
Tango was good.
Tango.
Classic
Remember that
ball,
one,
classic ball. How, yeah. How can I forget?
I'm showing my age here to you, Asmir, but not to you, Andy. Do you remember the mitre balls they used in the League Cup final, the red and white ones?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, heavy balls like they were.
Yeah.
Can I ask, is that, we've really got to let you go, I'm curious, is there some kind of legal size as to how big a goalkeeper's gloves can be? Could you have a goalkeeper that's eight yards wide?
No, I wish we could actually. Well, I make gloves with my brand, but some goalkeepers wear bigger gloves than their hands. With finger saves and
is that legal?
Things like that. Yeah, of course it's legal.
No, it's legal.
It's very legal. Yeah. Yeah, if you get a fingertip on the ball and it helps you make a save, why not?
So there's no ruling as to how big. Hold on. So you could come out with a pair of gloves at the weekend that completely cover
Like the Gladiators, they're one of them things.
Yeah, completely cover
we
the goal.
can make one. Yeah, I've not tried making one, but yeah, you
Well,
could.
can see, really.
Why not? Yeah.
Dear.
What would that be? What about I'm fascinated by that. Are you allowed to use any kind of like not glue, but anything to help the ball stick to the goalkeeper?
Yeah, I mean there is stuff that goalkeepers use. There's certain sprays and bits and pieces, but really, I mean the latex now. I mean we use some of the best latex there is for goalkeeper gloves, and you get a bit of water on it, wear them in, and it does the trick. So I'm not so sure about it.
And do you take a bag with you? Because in the 80s, when I was a kid growing up, a goalkeeper would take a little bag into the goal. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yes,
they used to have an extra pair of gloves in there just
Yeah.
in case they rip. No, I don't take a bag with me in the goal, but it's definitely something that used to be done.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Thank you for coming in. Just a quick word about Leicester. Tough season ahead. Obviously, the goal is to get back into the Premier League.
Yeah, very tough season. I mean, you guys know the beast the Championship is. A lot of good teams in there. But
What do you think the differences are as a goalkeeper from Championship football to Premier League football?
Well, it can be a little bit more physical, especially in set plays. There's no VAR, so there's a lot more pushing and shoving that goes on. I think certain teams are maybe a little bit more direct, so you'll see crosses from all sorts of different positions, ball put in the box in different positions. Premier League's a lot more faster in transition. You see a lot more cutbacks in the box, shorter crosses. So there's different threats for sure.
You've been great. Thank you. You only went
Thank you.
15.
What a
The
pleasure.
fact
Thank you so
that
much.
The tower player, the fact that you just went, fine.
Thank you.
It's very,
Always
very kind of
anything for you guys.
Name your podcast again on the back of that.
Well, it's called the Alex and Asmir Show, so we're a little bit on YouTube. We're trying to grow this thing, and thanks for the kind hospitality.
It's our pleasure.
stuff,
Whenever you're in the
Thank
building,
you.
we would welcome you back again.
Thank you, guys.
Brilliant. Asmir Begovic, thanks for that. We've got an hour left of our show. When we come back, we're looking ahead to a busy night in the Carabao Cup for Man United. They're taking on Grimsby away. We'll have team news in the last hour, and we'll be talking about how big this competition is for Manchester United. If you want to have your say on National Radio, you can pick up the phone, get involved, 03717 223344. The last hour with all that team news is coming up live and drive on talkSPORT after this.
Ruben Amarim says he's going to mix up his squad for Man United's EFL Cup match at Grimsby tonight. Rasmus Højlund's available for the game against their League Two opponents. Despite speculation, he's ready to leave Old Trafford. That game is live on talkSPORT. Another player who could make tonight's lineup is Kobbie Mainoo, but there is uproar from many fans at the idea he could leave. talkSPORT understands he would consider leaving for a suitable offer. Club legend John O'Shea is baffled that he's not getting any game time under Amarim.
He's a quality player. United cannot afford to be losing him or selling him for any reason whatsoever. He's definitely, I hope, part of the future of the club that's going to be successful, without a doubt.
Jared Bowen's apologised after confronting a West Ham fan following their Carabao Cup exit to Wolves last night. Graham Potter's side have lost 3 games from 3 this season, conceding 11 goals. Simon Jordan says the Hammers boss hasn't lost his job just yet, though.
They're not worried about a League Cup game. That's the narrative that we're going to create. The media are going to create that and build the pressure, and the fans are going to respond to it, and they're going to latch upon it, and they're going to keep on and on. West Ham fans have spent a significant proportion of the West Ham fans, not all of them, spend all their time complaining about what their football club doesn't do. You know, their football club is massive at one particular moment. No, it's not. It never has been.
Well, Danny Murphy expects a troublesome season unless they can get some last-minute big transfers.
They've got a long, hard season ahead. Unless they do a good bit of business in the next few days, and have they got the finances to do that, or can they be cute on a couple of loans? They need a couple more in the building, that's for sure.
Well, the club are looking to bring in some players. We understand they're proposing a loan deal with an obligation to buy for Botafogo's John Victor. Monaco midfielder Songutu Magasa is set for a medical. And will Rangers be able to keep their Champions League campaign hopes alive tonight? They've got a bit of a mountain to climb, though. It's currently 3-1 to Belgian side Club Brugge. There's more on this at talksport.com.
Doors. Someone's put a bit of lead piping on that door. It's still not working. Look.
No.
Shut that door, Billy. Thanks, Bill. Welcome back to the last hour drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Andy Townsend. The legend is alongside me. Still to come, we'll be getting team news ahead of a busy night of Carabao Cup football. But now, talking of that, Man United, they're in action. They face Grimsby. It's live right here on talkSPORT. So how important is this competition to Ruben Amarim?
Full-time whistle has blown. The Manchester United players sink to the ground in frustration. It's finished Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1.
The price of playing for this club, you have to win no matter what. And people just are going to look for the results, but I'm really proud of my players.
I think United are going to overachieve this season.
The teams that you're looking at finishing, you know, maybe 12th and below, those are the sides that Man United need to win against.
Fulham 1, Manchester United 1, Emil Smith-Rowe, and he steered in the equaliser.
We can create chances. We did the shot in the right way. We missed the penalty. We need to move on.
Big old night it is, isn't it? We know European football for Man United, a stuttering start to the season, this in the FA Cup. The only likely chances of silverware for Manchester United. The build-up to the game has been dominated by the uncertainty over midfielder Kobbie Mainoo's future, and the United boss Ruben Amarim has been speaking about the midfielder in the build-up to tonight's game.
He's fighting for the position now with Bruno. And I changed to midfielders. I let Mason Mount there because we want to score a goal. And then when I change, I felt that the team needed to return to one holder midfielder near Bruno. So we just need to fight the position with Bruno, like should be in the Manchester United.
He's competition for Bruno.
Yeah, for Bruno, and then he's going to play with Bruno. But in the moment, he's fighting in training with Bruno for the position.
It makes me quite angry hearing that, because I don't think he's a number 10. And I think his best position is a Casemiro role.
Well, Bruno's playing alongside Casemiro at the moment.
Yeah, but I think, yes, he is because of the formation we're playing, which is the wrong formation. But, I mean, that's another story for another day. But
why does he identify that he's fighting with Bruno?
Well, my understanding is, and it's a good understanding, if that makes sense, is that he sees Kobbie Mainoo as a player that plays much further forward than the one that Kobbie Mainoo and the rest of us think he should be playing in. And because he wants to play him a little bit further up, I mean, there was a game last season towards the end of it that he was playing Kobbie as a false number 9.
Yeah.
And because he wants him to play that role, and that's maybe a more physical role, as in more miles covered on the pitch, and that's not Kobbie's strength.
Yeah.
That he's not going to have the opportunity to play that role. And that means you're taking away a player from that Man United side that's not just a really good player in his preferred position, which is just in front of the Casemiro role, but also you're taking a young player, a Man United, a homegrown player, out of that first team. And there's a real danger that he could... I don't think he'll leave in this window. I really don't. But, oh my goodness.
It's like he's made his mind up on him already. And the bit I'm sort of a little bit surprised with a young coach like Ruben Amarim is why he hasn't got anybody... If he looked at any of Kobbie Mainoo's games when he first come into the team, he would see a very talented, very gifted player. I'm staggered that he can't seem to find a reason to want to improve the boy. You know, it'd be nice to hear your coach turn around and say, I tell you what, you know, Kobbie, he's a homegrown boy and we want to improve him. We want to make him better. We think we can. You know, whether that's a different position, whether that's a different role, well, that happens. And as a player, you have to adapt to that. Not everyone sees you where you see yourself on the field. I'm telling you now, I watched Bruno Fernandes first half against Fulham was Fulham's best player. Right, every time he got it, he gave it away. He got caught on it. Obviously, the pen is a different thing altogether, but it just was an awful pen.
He's not going to drop Bruno for Kobbie.
No, I'm not saying. Clearly, he's not going to do that. It's his skipper as well. So he's.
Do you know what that says to me, Andy? That's almost like him saying, "You ain't playing."
Yeah, I'd rather not have this issue, this debate, this problem. It might be better for you. That's what he's doing there. He's throwing the ball back to the player now. Now Kobbie Mainoo, a couple of days out of the window closing, I'm sure he still would want to stay. I mean, why can't Kobbie Mainoo play alongside Bruno instead of Casemiro?
Well, that's the role. But the problem is he's so I don't know if arrogant's the word, maybe it is, Ruben Amarim, that he will not move away from this formation, right? That it must work for him, right? And he will not accept any other formation other than the one he's trying to put across, the three at the back, right?
You've spent a lot of money with those forward boys, with Šeško,
But we've still got the wrong players for those positions, right? Because Mbeumo can not only, but his best position is out wide of a three. We saw that when he was at Brentford. And the Man United are playing incredibly narrow. That it's not going to work. The problem is, I think, as in a United fan looking at our squad, is we've got a really good team if we revert to 4-3-3, right? If we went 4 at the back with De Ligt and, say, Lenny Yoro, and then Luke Shaw and then Diogo Dalot once the other side on the right, and then the 3 in the middle, you could have all 3. You could have Kobbie Mainoo, you could have Casemiro and Bruno.
Yep.
And then you've got width with Mbeumo one side, Cunha the other, and Šeško up top. Right? Now, I'm not saying we're going to win this and do that, but that team, that 4-3-3, for my money, is so much better looking in every area than the ones I'm constantly seeing and getting frustrated with week in, week out with Manchester United.
I just on the back of Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho, on the back of those guys seemingly not having a role at Old Trafford, and again being a bit of an issue. I mean, Marcus Rashford is at Barcelona at the moment with a view to potentially a deal. They might well send him back in a year's time.
Yeah.
We don't know. Jadon Sancho, as we speak, I mean, I can't think of a player that's disappointed more over the last few years than what he has at Chelsea and at United. So when you've got someone like Kobbie Mainoo, who is, to me, I think is suited to Premier League football. Some players aren't, even though they're homegrown. Some don't always. You don't always feel their best attributes are suited to our game here. Kobbie Mainoo's is. Again,
There was a time, I think it was under Ten Hag. It might have been under Ruben Amorim, but I'm pretty sure it was Ten Hag, when we had Kobbie Mainoo, Garnacho and Rasmus. Right?
Yes.
And a lot was made of the three youngsters coming in. There's that picture of Garnacho sat on the hoardings and the other two young kids coming. And it was like, oh, the future's bright here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the end of that, right? That won't be happening.
Yeah.
I just wonder if Kobbie Mainoo doesn't start tonight, right? I think that sends out a gigantic message. I will be stunned if he doesn't start tonight.
Yeah.
I'll be absolutely stunned.
Well, he'll be, the player himself would be then resigned to the fact that he's hoping something's going to happen for him in the next 24, 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever it is.
I hope it doesn't.
You know, I'm still quite surprised that United can't seem to have a young player like that in their camp, in their squad, potentially playing. Let's say Kobbie Mainoo plays 20 games in a season. I'm not saying the player would be delighted with that, but it's the kind of an acceptable number, I think, for a young player now.
Were you there at the weekend, right? Fulham game.
I was at the Fulham game.
We needed a goal.
Yes.
And he had Xerxes. I'm not a fan of, but Xerxes plays further forward.
Yes.
And Kobbie Mainoo on the bench. And he left both of them there and brought on two defenders.
He did. He brought on two defenders at the end. He did. Didn't want to lose the game.
Try and win it. That's the problem. Go and win it.
And the fans were actually going, attack.
And this is why I think that tonight is almost irrelevant for Manchester United, right? I'm not poo-pooing the League Cup, but the reason I say it's almost irrelevant, if we don't beat Burnley at home at the weekend, that's a far bigger upset and a far bigger problem than losing against Grimsby tonight. We shouldn't lose against Grimsby.
Well,
even if we put out a second-rate side, we should win comfortably.
And also, with the squad and the players that you have, and I include Kobbie Mainoo in that, you should be able to win tonight and you should be able to negotiate. Should, not easily, but you should be able to find a way to negotiate past Burnley too. You should at Old Trafford. Of course, everyone would be expecting that. But I don't understand Ruben Amorim's thought process with this player. If it's purely finances, if it's money, if it's PSR, if it's something else, then that's a fact. But if it's just that he don't fancy him, what's he seeing from Ugarte that is so super duper than I'm not seeing from Kobbie Mainoo?
I'll make a statement now, a little prediction. Man United have had this tradition, I think going back to the 30s, where we've always had an academy player in the squad.
In and around it.
The match day squad. Right, not around it, in it.
Right.
On the bench or starting. We've always had that, and we've not missed a game. I have a feeling that will end this season.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there will not be one of the young kids coming through in a matchday squad at Man United this season.
And what message are you actually saying to those kids that are at United now? Again, I think it's difficult. If you've got a very, very talented young lad who's on the verges, on the edges of it at 17s and 18s, well, all of a sudden, when you start to see what goes on with some of these other boys, it does make you question perhaps whether or not that is the right vehicle for your son.
We will take calls on all things Man United when we come back. They're in action away at Grimsby tonight. That game is live on talkSPORT. The boys from 10 on the Sports Bar will be taking your calls. We'll have team news for you. I'll be stunned if Kobbie Mainoo's not starting, but you will find out one way or the other if you keep listening to Drive. When we come back, we'll take your calls on all things Manchester United. How big is the League Cup for the club? 03717 223344. Sharp and talkSPORT, it's me, Andy Goldstein. It says Darren Bent here. It's not Darren Bent. I can confirm. There's lots of reasons why I know that's not Darren Bent, but either way, Darren Bent will be back tomorrow. It's Andy Townsend. Still to come, Team News will be reaching us for tonight's games in the Carabao Cup any moment now. Just quickly, reports suggest that Spurs are looking to rival Chelsea for Xavi Simons from Leipzig. Spurs, tell you what, they're coming in for a few players before the window closes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers, I'll be stunned if Villa. I mean, that was a bit of a curveball.
No, yeah, I can't see for 1 second Unai Emery sanctioning that, because I don't think any player, outfield player, would have played more since Unai's been around than Morgan Rogers. He's been so significant. So I just can't see that one even being anything like a go.
Should we go to the phone lines, Andy Townsend?
Let's go.
Let's go, he says. Stephen's a Man United fan. Hi, Stephen.
Good evening.
How are you?
How are you both doing? All right?
You sound
good,
very,
Steve.
Very serious, Steve.
Listen, Mr. Goldstein, you support Manchester United, don't you?
Oh, he's going to go for me. Go on, Steve. What's the problem, Steve?
What are you hoping to achieve with that comment there?
Which one?
There'll be no future kids in the team.
Well, I don't think there will.
What is that hoping to achieve? That doesn't sound like to me.
I'm not hoping to achieve anything. It's just my view. It's a statement. I don't necessarily always want to achieve something with a statement. That's just my point.
Well, it's very anti. It sounds like you're anti Amarim to me.
What by?
When you should be backing him all the way.
Okay, so you back him, right?
I stand or sit.
Okay. Will you win the league?
Every home game. I don't think we will win the league this year.
No. Will Amarim? No.
We'll win the league before Arsenal. I believe that in my heart.
No. What, you think Ruben Amarim will win the league with Man United?
I don't know that.
But you just
he's in charge or not, I don't know.
Well, you're not backing him.
I am backing him.
Well, you just said he won't win the league.
I won't be paying my money every other week.
Okay, will he win the league for Man United one time or another?
I hope so.
No, that's not what I asked.
Will Ruben Amarim win the Premier League with Manchester United in his managerial tenure?
Yeah.
I really don't know. That's a tough.
Why are you not backing him?
I am backing him every other week.
You just said you don't know. That's not backing him.
Well, would you rather me say, 100% he's going to win the league and be naive?
No, of course not. But you just had a pop at me for not backing him, but you're not backing him.
Listen, I back him every other week, mate.
Do you back him to win the league?
I don't know. Really can't answer that, mate. You've got me tied up with that one. But look, please stop it with the anti.
It's not anti. I'm just being honest.
It is.
It's not.
Every other day.
It's not. I've not seen
Killing
anything.
Me, Andrew. Listen, listen. I love my Cockney Red friends, and I see them most of the weekends.
Yeah.
Right. And I stand on the Stretford end and the lower tier, mate, every other week.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't get an away ticket just yet, but I'm working on it. Okay. But listen, please stop it. Every other day. God bless you anyway. Thank you for listening.
Hold on, before you go, let me ask you one question, Stephen. Before you go, what player has he improved since he's been at Man United?
Marcus Rashford.
Stephen, are you a Man City fan?
I am not.
Okay, all right. Lovely speaking to you, Steve.
Born and bred.
Thanks, man.
Born and bred. Thank you. God bless you both.
Pal. Good call. I like that. Let's go to Mike, a Man United fan as well. Hi, Mike.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Good, mate.
Off you go, pal.
Yeah, just make my journey home a lot easier. Thanks for that call and made it even better.
Go on.
Just the game tonight, I think it's the League Cup isn't that important to Man United. I think this year, a better performance in the league is pretty critical. But I do think the win is important tonight and a good performance. Played half decent against Arsenal. Probably should have got more out of that game. Bit unflattering against Fulham, but certainly tonight the guys need to perform.
What's bigger, Mike? Tonight or Burnley at the weekend?
I would suggest Burnley at the weekend.
Yeah.
However, I would say that winning and that old winning mentality does breed a better performance. And if they can put a performance in tonight, that confidence they'll take from the game tonight hopefully should translate into a better game from them or a better performance at the weekend against Burnley. And as Andy says, they should beat Burnley. Goodness me, they should beat Burnley.
Should do, Mike. Yeah, should be able to sort tonight out. And at Old Trafford, you will be expected to turn Burnley over as well. If all of a sudden you're starting to tiptoe into games with respects, Burnley at home, then my goodness, Manchester United is in trouble. I honestly, I'm a little surprised, and at the way you're saying that you're almost preparing really to. All right, we'll probably win tonight, but the next time we get an half decent team, perhaps with respects to Grimsby in the League Cup, we'll bin it. We'll chuck it away.
No. I'm just suggesting that I think the Premier League is much bigger than the League Cup for Manchester United.
I think it's a really important game, and I think the trophy is an important trophy
I'm not
for
saying
you
it's
to
not.
try and win.
I'm not saying it's not. I think the league position is bigger than the League Cup.
Do you not think if you keep getting wrapped up in just saying, no, this is bigger and that picking and choosing, I don't think you're in a position to pick and choose.
No, what do you think is bigger?
Okay,
what's a better season for Man United, right?
Yeah.
7th European football and no League Cup, or 8th
if you
and
win the
League
League Cup, you got European football.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, what's better then? Well, that sort of kills my argument, right?
Well, no,
what's better? 6th,
yes,
and no cup.
Okay,
or 12th. I won't go mad and League Cup.
12th again. I think I can't see you finishing as low as 12th.
No, but what's better?
Well, personally, I think Manchester United, in order for you to get back where you need to be, you need to continue to win some trophies.
So what's better?
So I'm going to say that I think winning a trophy
and 12th
is better than just being another team.
Yeah, but why are you not saying the whole sentence? Why don't you say 12th and a trophy is better than 6th?
I think you can win. I think you can win the League Cup and.
I know, but that's not my question. My question is, which is better?
Well, I think winning a trophy is always better than winning nothing.
So okay.
Ask Tottenham.
I know. So are you saying that 12th and League Cup is better than 6th?
Yeah, because we're 6th. Okay. 6th. What is 6th really?
Well, it's an improvement on where United were last season.
12th's an improvement.
Yes, it is.
And a trophy.
You're right. I can't argue with that. Let's speak to Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
How are we doing? You okay?
All right, Kev.
Oh, good, man. How are you?
Not great. I've given up. Absolutely given up with United. 35 years old, supported them through all the good times.
Well, not all of them. You're only 35.
Well, growing up in the 90s and the noughties, we were winning everything, weren't we? So it was a great time to be a United fan. But
hold on, you were born in 1990, right?
Yeah.
So you probably don't remember the first 8 years of your life.
I remember the treble.
What, 9?
I remember.
Where'd you watch it?
In my bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. You have had the good times. I'll give you that. That's fair. Go on. So why have you given up?
I remember. I don't think I want to support United anymore.
Oh, come on. Come on, thick and thin.
I can't.
For richer, for poorer. Come on, you're married to the club.
I'm not. I'm married to an Evertonian, and we've got a 2-year-old lad, and I don't want him to have the pain I've had the last 10 years.
Hold on. So your wife's an Everton fan, right?
Correct.
Oh, she's still with Everton?
I know she's got something to cheer about.
You can't. Okay, who are you going to support? You're going to give up United? You're going to support who?
I think I'm going to go for Everton.
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not football fan. Come on,
Kev.
Kev, that's nuts.
Let me just tell you now. I'm sick. If we weren't winning trophies every year, I get it. I'm not bothered. But for 10, 15 years now, I've not seen a team give it 100%, run round. We had a couple of years with when Ollie was in charge that we were playing on the counter-attack, players were running. We still weren't good enough, but they were trying. That's why everyone got behind. Ollie's behind the wheel. And now with this Amarim playing 3-5-2 with players that he's just not got the players for. So what we do, give him another couple of years, spend another $3 billion on rubbish players. Yeah. And I've got no one, like you just said, there's no homegrown players to buy into. Kobe Mainoo should be starting every game. And now we're on about selling him Chelsea. Garnacho's go at Chelsea. And it's like, what are we doing?
I must admit, some of the decisions, Kev, are a little baffling. Just very quickly, before we go to the break, first 15 minutes against Fulham, right? That first 15 minutes the other day with Cunha, and they were right out the blocks, United. Yeah. Really good. Start the second half, backwards, sideways, backwards, slow, predictable. You know, and it's like, what? The first 15 minutes, once you get it up to those boys up front, you look like you could score every time you attacked. And then all of a sudden you resort to keep ball, and going nowhere. Going absolutely nowhere.
A reminder, we will have team news for Man United against Grimsby. I'd be stunned if Shesko doesn't start and Kobe Mainoo doesn't start. Big problems if neither of those are in the starting 11. You'll find out. We get team news in about 15 minutes' time. Stick around for that. First, it's time for no Googling. Last one of the day. We're talking about Man United. We want to know, what was the result the last time United played in the second round of the Carabao Cup? I'll give you a clue. It was 2014. So 11 years ago. All right, you remember the game, actually. I'll tell you the game when we come back. Right. Stay with us, team news and lots more coming up in the last 30 minutes of Drive on talkSPORT.
Ruben Amarim says he's going to mix up his squad for Man United's EFL Cup match at Grimsby tonight. Rasmus Højlund's available for the game against their League Two opponents. Despite speculation, he's ready to leave Old Trafford. That game is live on talkSPORT. Another player who could make tonight's lineup is Kobe Mainoo, but there is uproar from many fans at the idea he could leave. talkSPORT understands he would consider leaving for a suitable offer. Club legend John O'Shea is baffled that he's not getting any game time under Amarim.
He's a quality player. United cannot afford to be losing him or selling him for for any reason whatsoever, he's definitely, I hope, part of the future of the club that's going to be successful, without a doubt.
Jarrod Bowen's apologised after confronting a West Ham fan following their Carabao Cup exit to Wolves last night. Graham Potter's side have lost 3 games from 3 this season, conceding 11 goals. Simon Jordan says the Hammers boss hasn't lost his job just yet, though.
They're not worried about a League Cup game. That's the narrative that we're going to create. The media are going to create that and build the pressure, and the fans are going to respond to it, and they're going to latch upon it, and they're going to keep on and on. West Ham fans spend all their time complaining about what their football club doesn't do. You know, their football club is massive at one particular moment. No, it's not. Never has been.
And will Rangers be able to keep their Champions League campaign hopes alive tonight? They've got a bit of a mountain to climb, though. It's currently 3-1 to Belgian side Club Brugge. There's more on this at talksport.com.
Driver talkSPORT, it's me, Andy Goldstein, and the superstar that is Andy Townsend. Before the break, I asked the question, what was the result the last time United played in the second round of the Carabao Cup? 2014. I'll give you a clue, and this might shake your memory. MK Dons was the team that beat Man United. We got smashed to pieces. Do you remember?
No.
Have a guess.
What was the score?
Yeah. You know I'm off air at 7, right?
4-1.
Have another guess.
3-2.
Have another guess.
3-1.
Keep going.
3-0.
Nope.
4-0.
Yes. Good. Edit out all the other ones. You got that first time. Well done to you. Following us at 7, Atlee Sawyer presents live coverage. Grimsby take on Manchester United. We can get some team news tonight from other games taking place. We'll have that one for you as well in tonight's show. Before that, though, Ian Danter, he's got the team news from Everton. They face Mansfield. That game is live on talkSPORT 2. Dance, good evening.
Evening to you both, Andys. Everton make 6 changes from the win here in their first game at Hill Dickinson Stadium against Brighton on Sunday. The players coming in: Travers, Coleman, Mikolenko, Armstrong, McNeil and Alcaraz. And being retained, Tarkowski, Keane, Garner, who's moved into midfield. He played at left back on Sunday, Grealish and Barry. As for Mansfield, well, they've never faced Everton before in any competition, and here they are pitching up as the second team to arrive at Hill Dickinson Stadium. They are unchanged from their thumping 4-1 win over Leyton Orient on Saturday. So Nigel Clough will be hoping he can cause a big upset tonight in the Carabao Cup. It's live on talkSPORT 2 from 7:30. Everton taking on Mansfield Town.
Good work as always, Dan. Thanks for that United team news coming up in just a moment. But first, it's time for this.
Can you nick it? On talkSPORT with Caught Stealing, the must-see new crime thriller starring Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz. Only in cinemas August 29th.
And to celebrate Friday's cinema release of the new action thriller Caught Stealing from Sony Pictures, all this week we're giving 3 lucky listeners the chance to win an epic holiday to New York. It includes 4 nights hotel accommodation in Manhattan, tickets to a baseball game, and £500 spending money. Joining us now, again, randomly selected from all the entries on talksport.com. We spoke to them all on Monday, we spoke to them all yesterday, and we'll carry on talking to them Thursday and Friday till we get a winner. Is Ian, Lindsay and Simon. Ian, hello, good evening to you.
How you doing, lads? You all right?
I'm good. I'm very well. You all right? You well?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Bit nervous today.
Don't be nervous. You've been fine. Up against you trying to take the steal from you is Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Oh, hi. How are you both doing?
We're great. Are you all right? You had a nice 24 hours?
Yeah, I'm good. Very nervous.
Good.
Hopefully
You don't need to be nervous. You'll be fine. Simon is part of the trilogy. Hi, Simon.
Good evening, guys.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Okay, everyone's nervous. Don't be.
Good, a little bit of nerves.
A little bit nervous is good. Is
Little
good.
bit's
Okay,
good.
yeah, I see what you're saying. You'll be on your game. Let me remind everyone how the competition works. So every day this week, we're going to be asking 5 sports questions. If you get it correct, you stay in play. However, if you answer incorrectly, the next player will steal your question. We keep going all the way to Friday. Whoever answers the last question wins.
Right.
Okay, now, over the last 2 days, at the end of day 1, Ian had control of the game. At the end of last night's play was Ian again. So we start with Ian. Ian, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go. Number 1 of 5. In 2013, which Watford player scored the final goal against Leicester to secure the 3-1 win after Leicester missed their penalty in the 97th minute?
I can only imagine it's got to be Troy Deeney.
It is Troy Deeney. Yeah, it's a very famous goal, actually. Staying with you in 2019, which player lost to Novak Djokovic in a 5-hour final at Wimbledon, despite having 2 championship points to serve in the 5th set?
Andy Murray.
Is the wrong answer. That means we go to you, Lindsay. Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, so which tennis player are we thinking of?
I think it's Roger Federer.
Is the right answer. Well done, Lindsay. Question.
Oh.
Well done. You don't win anything for that, by the way. Question number 3. In December 2024, which team scored twice in the closing minutes to beat Man City 2-1 in the Premier League?
Oh God, I don't know that one.
Just have a guess.
Who was it again? Man City.
Beat Man City.
Like Aston Villa.
Not Aston Villa. We'll go to Simon. Maybe he's got the answer. Simon, which team?
Was that Man United?
It is Man United. Well done, Si. We'll stay with you. 2 questions to go. Which darts player famously came back from 3-0 down to beat Phil Taylor 7-6 in the 2007 PDC World Final?
Oh, 2007. 7-6. God. Dennis Priestley?
It wasn't Dennis Priestley. We'll go back to Ian. Ian, it wasn't Dennis the Menace. Who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of Van Gerwen.
It wasn't Van Gerwen. Lindsay, what's your darts like?
I know nothing about that.
Okay, well, sounds like Ian and Simon don't as well, so you're in good company. Name a darts player for me from 2007.
Pass. Sorry, I don't know any.
That's okay. We'll go back to Simon. You got one more go each, otherwise we move on. Simon, you got one more go?
The only other player I can think of who's won it around that time was John Part.
It wasn't John Part. Ian, back to you.
Oh, God.
Darts.
2007.
2007. I can't give you clues, sadly.
2007.
Quick.
This the Scotch fella, I can't think of his name. Scottish Mooch.
He's not Scottish, so it's not who you're thinking of. Lindsay, I can give you one more guess.
I have no idea. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's okay. No problem. It's a tough one. It was Raymond van Barneveld. Andy Townsend would have got it. Some help you are. Right, that means we stay with Simon for the last question of the day. That means whoever gets this one right will start tomorrow as we edge closer. Simon, the last question. Are you ready?
Yep.
In the 1986 World Cup quarter-final, Diego Maradona's infamous hand of God goal helped Argentina defeat which team, sealing their place in the semi-finals?
England.
Is that a guess?
The hand of God?
Yeah, no, I'm just playing with you. Is the right answer. Isn't it mad what your brain does to you when you're under pressure, right? The hand of God.
I must admit, though, in my head, I thought that was the semi-finals. That was the quarter-final, was it?
It was the quarterfinals because I think Argentina played Belgium then in the semis and then Germany in the final.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sad, I know that, but I think I'm right. I am right. Yeah, there you go. So it doesn't matter because you're right. You're right. You got it right. So that means, is this Simon I'm talking to? I've lost track of the days.
Yeah,
Simon?
yeah.
Simon, that means you will start tomorrow, Thursday.
Cool.
Okay, and that means you are 10 questions away from winning.
Cool. I look forward to it.
So is Ian and Lindsay. But we will speak to you tomorrow, son. Well done. Congratulations. You got control of the game. We'll speak to you in a bit. That was Can You Nick It? Thanks to Caught Stealing.
Can You Nick It? On talkSPORT with Caught Stealing, the must-see new crime thriller starring Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz. Only in cinemas August 29th.
You knew Raymond van Barneveld there?
Raymond van Barneveld. I knew that one. I didn't know all of the other ones, mate, but I did get that one.
It's tough, isn't it? Because you could get 24 right, get the last one wrong, and that's it, you're done.
And it's the drum roll. The drum roll, plays such a key part.
What do you mean the drum roll?
Well, like whenever there's a quiz.
Or the tension bed.
That's what I mean.
Well, the last fellow went, what team? And he was like, England. I was like, is that a guess? And you can see him going, oh my God. Oh my God. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the first question.
Yes.
They go, what number comes after 6? And you go, 7. Final answer, and you go, is it 7? Is it? Or is it K? I don't really know.
I was actually watching Stephen Fry on one recently with Jeremy Clarkson.
Right, we've got stuff to do, but I want to hear this story.
He got 250 grand, Stephen Fry, for charity. Obviously, it was a charity one. And he was like, I mean, as you would expect,
clever man.
Very, very good.
You ever done game shows like that?
I have. I've done
What have you done?
Millionaire.
Have you?
Myself and Steve Ryder, we did it many years ago. We got 50 grand for charity.
Steve Ryder, that's a blast from past. Superstar he is.
Yeah, we did. And I've said before, and again, with no offence to anybody listening, but Chris Tarrant leant forward just as we were about to start. He went, right, don't ask the audience. They're from Southend.
He didn't say that.
He did. He did.
Really?
He said, only if you're really struggling. So.
What's strange to say? Was he mic'd up at the time? He must have.
No.
Right.
He was just sort of, because they do 3 of them, don't they? 3 of them in one day. And of course, there's a busload of people coming in.
Is it nerve wracking when you sat on that?
Yes, it is.
And does anything happen to you that we don't see on the telly in that game?
Not really. No, it's all as it is, I think, really.
Yeah.
But no, it was very, very good. And it's amazing when they start saying a question, and before you see the answers, instantly in your mind you think this. You think of something.
It's going to be C.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, I'm just thinking of the answer, and then you pray and you see that, and of course, if it don't come up as one of the 4, then all of a sudden you start to panic a bit.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a good day.
That's nice. Any others? Ready, Steady, Cook?
No,
I've done that.
No, I got asked to do, quite a few sort of bits and bobs over here. A lot of the ITV game shows back in the day.
What ones? Give us I can see you on Give Us a Clue with Lionel Blair and Eunice Stubbs. Michael Aspel.
Michael Aspel. No.
What other ones?
I got asked to do. We all got asked to do Family Fortunes.
Who's we? The Townsends?
Townsend family. Yeah.
Why didn't you do that?
No.
Did you go?
Yeah, exactly. I just sort of said, look, I don't.
Why?
Think so. And my youngest boy, actually, at the time, I don't know why, but he was just very against it. So for 24 hours, the rest of the family, we all just said, we're definitely going. We're doing it. And he didn't want to do it.
How old was he?
Oh, he was only young, really. He was probably about 13 or 14.
And what, was he scared about going on telly?
Yeah. I don't want to do it. No, we're not doing it. I said, well, listen, you are doing it. It's for charity, so you're doing it.
Was he clever, or was he like you?
No, but it was quite comical. Yeah, I got asked to do.
You should have done that. That'd have been brilliant.
Well, there you go. But listen,
you ever been on This Is Your Life as a guest?
Yes, I have. Peter Shilton many years ago with Eamon Andrews.
Oh, the legend!
The legend was Eamon Andrews.
God bless you.
Schultz. We were at Southampton. I think I hadn't been there long, and we all got asked to come back to the ground in the afternoon. And there was a lot of raised eyebrows and moaning and groaning from a lot of the players because once you've been training in the morning, you think, what's this all about? Got to be back at the ground at 2:00. Next thing, we're on a bus up to London. It was Schultz doing This Is Your Life.
How did they surprise him?
Oh, mate, I really can't remember that. But we were all sat there in the audience. Yeah.
Is it true that at the end of that they gave him the book? They give you the big, and he dropped it.
I wouldn't think so.
I'm just playing. When we come back, we will. I'm looking at my producer, Billy. He's gone. Has his mum picked him up for school? Oh, no, he's still there. There he is. We will have team news for Grimsby against Manchester United?
Right, what do you think? Yes or no, Kobe Mainoo?
Well, if he doesn't, he's got to go. He will start. Yes, and Shesko, yes.
Shesko, you
Yes.
want him starting, don't you, Nate?
Yes,
Come on, get
I
him
do.
in.
Get him in. Team news coming up. Live and Drive on talkSPORT right after this. Drive on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein, Andy Townsend alongside. Following us at 7, the wonderful Natalie Sawyer brings you live commentary of Grimsby against Manchester United. The team news for that is in. I'm hearing reports of Kobe Mainoo starts, but I don't know about Shesko. But a man that does is Jim Proudfoot. He's got all the answers. Jim, good evening.
Andy, good evening to you. You're absolutely right. Kobbie Mainoo starts, and Šeško does as well, making his full debut for Manchester United after his summer move. There are 8 changes to the side held by Fulham. Cunha, Dorgu and Ahmad are the players retained, although Ahmad will play further forward than the right wing-back position that he played at Craven Cottage. Young centre-half Tyler Fredrickson comes in as well. It's only his 3rd appearance for the club. He made a couple of Premier League starts at the end of last season, makes his League Cup debut today. So, Anana in goal, Fredrickson, Maguire and Heaven, the back 3. Dalot, Ugarte, Mainoo and Dorgu. And then Ahmad and Cunha in support of Šeško. Still, no Højlund, no Garnacho in the matchday squad. But as you say, the selection of Kobbie Mainoo is very interesting and makes you think that perhaps he does have a future under Ruben Amarim after all. On the bench, Bayanda and Heaton are the substitute goalkeepers. De Ligt, Leon, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, Mount and Burmo, and Zirkzee, who hasn't played yet this season. If he comes on, it'll be his 50th Manchester United appearance. As for Grimsby, who are extremely confident, Green back from injury, but their top scorer, Jays Kabia, drops to the bench. Pym in goal, Rogers, Warren, McJanet and Sweeney, McEachran, Green and Corey in midfield, Burns and Vernon wide, and Gardner leads the line. Natalie with the build-up from 7, and we kick off here in North Lincolnshire at 8 o'clock. Dean Ashton alongside me on talkSPORT.
Thanks, Jim, as always. We don't have time to react, but it is big news. Onana starts, and so does Šeško and Kobbie Mainoo as well. Ian Abrahams is watching Oxford against Brighton. Team news is in for that. Moose?
And 8 changes for Oxford from the side beating at Birmingham at the weekend. So Ingram's in goal, Plaqueta, Spencer, Moore, Long and Curry is a back 5. Obviously Plaqueta and Curry will be wing backs. Phillips, Fawkes, Brannigan and Mills, Stan Mills, son of course of Danny Mills in midfield, with Mark Harris up front. Brighton make 11 changes, so completely new side to the one beating Everton at the weekend. Steele's in goal, Veltman, Coppola, Boscati and Igor across the back. James Milner will be the skipper alongside Gomez. Then Howe, Hinselwood and also Kogagli, with Gruder as the main striker. Although he's not actually a striker, Brian Gruder, but he is in the number 9 role tonight. So completely new change for Brighton tonight from the team beating Everton. 8 changes for Oxford, and we start here at 7:45.
Thanks, Moose. Lots of football happening tonight. Fulham against Bristol City is another game in the second round of the Carabao Cup. Watching for talkSPORT is the wonderful Ollie Klink.
Cheers, Andy. Yeah, Fulham make 9 changes from their draw with Manchester United on Sunday. There's a first start for new goalkeeper Benjamin Lecomte, who's their only summer arrival. They've got a back 4 of Castagna, Diop, Cuenca and Sessegnon. Reid and Kearney are then in midfield with Wilson, Smith Rowe and Adama Traore in front of them. Raul Jimenez leads the line up top. Plenty of changes for Bristol City too, 7 in total. Striker Emil Rees is involved, but he starts on the bench. They line up with Lumley in goal, Tanner, Viner, Dickey and McCrory in a back 4. Knight, Bird, Stokes and Hirakawa in midfield with Bell and Armstrong in attack. At Craven Cottage, it's Fulham against Bristol City.
A bad night for Celtic at the Champions League last night. It looks like Rangers are up against it. They're looking to overturn a 3-1 deficit against Club Brugge. Paul Mitchell has team news for that. Hi, Paul.
Evening, Andy. They certainly have to start better than they did at Ibrox last week. 2 changes. Nico Raskin returns to Belgium, but he's on the bench. Mo Diamande joins him. So Rangers will be Butland in goal. The back 4 of Aarons, Suter, Tajiga, Mahoma, Rothwell and Cameron, with Askar trying to support Danilo, Gassama and Atman. Rangers were undone in the first 20 minutes. They were 3 goals down. Romeo Vermont got the first of them. He's out tonight. Nicolo Tresoldi will take his place. Big night for Rangers. It's all about the performance, perhaps more than the results.
Good work as always. Thanks for that. We've only got about a minute left, Andy T.
Okay.
So we were going to have the end of show quiz, but I just, rather than crowbar it in, and we should talk about the fact that Man United are starting Kobbie Mainoo and Šeško as well. What do you make of that? Onana as well, given a chance. So.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see Šeško starting. I would like to have seen him start before this one. However, now he's ready. Hopefully he'll go and have an impact. We've seen Ekatike and 1 or 2 others come into the league this season and have picked up straight away. Let's hope Šeško can follow suit. Always want to see. You know, I've watched him last year a lot, and he's a very, very good technical player. So hopefully he'll get the goals, and I'm delighted for Kobbie Mainoo. I hope he can manage to get himself a goal as well, and apply a bit more pressure on the coach to play him or involve him more, rather than potentially trying to ease him out.
Go on, what will the score be tonight?
Oh, I can only believe that United will win it 3-0.
Okay, I'm
If
going to
not
go
more.
5-1.
Yeah, there you go.
I just think United will definitely score.
Yeah.
The other way around, I mean. That's it. Thank you so much. As
Thank
always,
you, mate.
You are one of my favourites. You always has been, you always will be. So I appreciate you for
Great to see you,
the
pal.
last 3 hours. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock for more, of course, with Darren Bent looking back at a triumphant evening for Manchester United. Fingers crossed. A reminder, that game is live on talkSPORT. Build-up begins now. The boys on the Sports Bar from 10 will be taking your calls. Have a great evening. See you at 4 tomorrow. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.